Sharks of the Corn? Virus Shark? Cocaine Shark? Sharktopus? Yeah, those are all real movies. Join me, Steve Coates, as each week I take a comedic look at the bizarre world of sharksploitation cinema on Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast.
Make sure your seatbacks are forward and your tray tables are in their upright and locked positions. This is Passenger 57.
I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
I'm the classy alcoholic.
And this is Bad Movies,
Worst People.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Bad Movies, Worst People, and as you heard at the top, we're talking about Passenger 57, which may be a good movie.
Maybe. I have thoughts.
I have opinions.
This is an episode of Great Movies, Worst People today.
As you hear, we have a guest in the studio / living room today, the classy alcoholic. Welcome.
Tell us a bit about yourself if you can.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. This is really cool. Never thought I'd actually come on the show because Derek said you talk about bad movies and make fun of them, and I just have such excellent taste in cinema, I don't watch that shit. But he said we can talk about a great movie, so I said, yeah, let's do that.
He also thinks that he has great taste in cinema.
He's probably right. If he likes this movie, he's right. No, I'm the classy alcoholic. I'm an Arizona beer blogger, wine blogger, spirits blogger, food blogger, anything that you can consume and spend money on irresponsibly, I'll write about it. So yeah, I'm Arizona's best favorite award-losing blogger.
You are, and I love you, and I vote for you every year.
Thank
Well
you
said.
very
Well
much.
said.
So this movie,
Fucking rules.
And I think we can get just, right on it. Wesley Snipes is amazing. There's
Absolutely.
nothing wrong with anything he does except maybe not paying taxes, and I'm still for that.
Absolutely. Also, the man served his time. Okay,
Yeah,
he
right,
served his
absolutely.
debt to society. Let's give him his flowers. But
Yeah.
this movie is the first movie that I remember seeing in theaters. I was
Nice.
way too young to be seeing this violent shit in theaters. My father took me.
It wasn't that violent.
No, but for like a 5 or 6 year old,
Mine was Crocodile Dundee.
I've never seen that.
that has
actually,
butts.
That has a naked
The
booty.
list of movies you haven't seen that have shaped my life are becoming just insane.
And I thought you were sheltered.
Yeah. I was sheltered with movies.
No, I have a strong affinity for this movie and Wesley Snipes, not just because of that, but also because the movie's amazing. He's amazing. I have so much to say. I don't know if I can just take a minute to. I know Wesley Snipes had a great career. He is a household name. I still don't think he gets the appreciation he deserves.
Well,
I can
I love
agree.
the
I can
Snipes.
agree on that.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this, maybe a spicy take. Wesley Snipes was the greatest action star of the 90s, period. And I can explain why. Okay, there's 3 reasons.
Reason the first.
Number 1, he's got the leading man good looks.
Oh, yeah.
He
He's
does.
handsome and jacked as fuck.
Ooh, that smile.
Second one,
Reason the second.
he has amazing martial arts skills, which, you know what, Arnold, Sly Stallone, and Steven Seagal did not have. So
No.
he has a one-up on them.
I mean, we've talked about that before. The dude can fucking fight, like
Yes, he
straight
can.
out. But get to your third point, because it might be what I'm about to make.
He is an excellent dramatic actor. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jackie Chan and Jean-Claude Van Damme, great martial artists. You're not going to put them in a Shakespeare adaptation.
No.
Wesley Snipes could play Hamlet. Like, seriously. Like, straight up. So
I could
nobody
see
can
that.
do all 3. Somebody came close. One person, one man touched
man.
greatness. And it was when Nicolas Cage did all those spin kicks in Con Air.
Oh,
He almost got to Wesley Snipes level. Not quite, but that was the close anyone
Wesley
else could get.
Snipes, just like no man of woman born, motherfucker.
Well, Snipes is the original sniper for me.
Oh, yeah.
He's
No, but I mean, I can piggyback on everything you just said because he fights better than everybody you mentioned and a lot more that we didn't mention. And much like the people he can fight like, he can act much better dramatically, and he's funny. He's a
Yes.
funny motherfucker.
Very funny.
My favorite Snipes movie is hands down Demolition Man because he is off the chain. He is just what's your boggle?
Agreed that that's a great movie. I will say that Wesley Snipes' movies, you talk about him, people think of Demolition Man and Blade. I think Passenger 57 doesn't get enough due. It's a great movie and it's a great showcase for him.
I think I know why it doesn't get its due, and we'll get to it.
I
Okay.
do have one thing to say about this movie, Passenger 57, is
You wish you were passenger 58,
yes.
sitting right next to him.
Well, actually, I think the way she was counting, she'd be behind him then, so you want to be 56.
Either way, I'm
Whatever.
close enough.
I
I'm
wanna
close
be
enough to to smell them.
Can I be in his lap? No. I noticed.
Before 9/11, yes, you probably could have done that.
7.5.
I noticed he did a majority of his own stunts in this.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
I was,
visibly.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
just like, that's him literally hanging out of a car.
Yes, this movie did not suffer from HD as we usually run into when we watch stuff here.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I mean, that was a cool stunt, but that was supposed to be a 17-year-old girl, and it was definitely a 49-year-old dude with a dress on.
I suffered from a little HD, but it was hard dick.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't suffering.
I had a hard dick.
So
I bet, dude.
everybody here is loving Wesley Snipes. Let me list the people who could have been in this movie or were supposed to be in this movie.
Go
like this.
on.
I'm
So
listening.
originally, this was a Sly vehicle.
Wow, he would have looked like a monster in that seat.
I don't
I bought 2 tickets because I need them.
know.
Like Kevin Smith. And then also
roided out to fly.
and then also not Sylvester Stallone, I just said that one.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal.
Uh.
He was supposed to do this. He had
I mean-
2 movies on the books. It was this and Under Siege.
Ooh, I'm glad
So-
this worked
he-
out this way.
I'm glad he chose Under Siege because I mean Wesley Snipes could have done a good Under Siege also.
Oh yeah, I was
but-
like, let's see that
Wesley
movie.
Snipes could have done all of those things.
I
Every
thought-
single he could have been the Terminator. He could have been Rocky. Like, come on.
I thought about Seagal when I was watching this, thinking this could easily be a Seagal vehicle. Easily.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I thought, thank God, because now it's actually watchable instead of it being Seagal.
if it was Seagal, then it would just be a plain version of Under Siege 2.
Get off my plane.
I will say though, this movie, it is 5 stars, but I'm even willing to give it a 4.75 because it's not very sexy. Honestly, he doesn't get down to any fucking. I understand because it's jam packed. There's a lot of
Yeah.
action,
Well,
a lot of
also the
time.
backstory, which I fucking appreciate.
And
Right.
not 1 Mile High Club joke.
Right? Exactly.
Whoa, come on,
I mean,
90s.
I guess they didn't say Mile High Club, but Rain does ask what's her name, Marty, if they're fucking in the undercarriage.
Oh,
thing. And I'm
yeah.
like,
I
when
wrote
did
it
they have
down.
time to
I mean,
fuck?
there's some forced sexiness there. The guy delivering the lines thinks it's sexy. The woman that has them delivered to her is terrified.
Well, the bad guy apparently, like
Repulsed.
he's a scumbag and he's basically playing the Joker. Let's be real, British Joker.
Yeah.
But then he all of a sudden goes into just weird, like
I'm the
sexual
Jester.
intimidation. It's,
Yeah.
it's,
I mean,
it's out of
he's
kind of
trying
out of
to finger
nowhere.
banger with a gun, but we'll get there.
Yeah, but
There
we'll
was
get
also a few
It's like
others
the
that
South
were
Park
considered,
episode.
though.
I'm finger bang.
There were a few others I read that were considered. And of course, this is IMDb trivia, so take that with a grain of sand.
Take that.
Those other 2 were proven. These ones, maybe not. But the Boz,
Oh.
Denzel,
I would've-
and Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy
It
would
would
not
have been
good.
more of a comedy.
Eddie Murphy would have not been able to fight at all.
Also that.
Yeah.
Like he would have, I think his chops would have been fine comedically, but he would not have been able to do any of the action that was keeping me
Concurred.
invested.
And again, none of those dudes can kick. I'm
And-
sorry. That Wesley Snipes has got
Boz?
the kicks.
the
Yeah.
Boz, Brian
Brian
Bosworth.
Bosworth.
Why am I
Stone
not-
Cold. He was a
Oh,
professional
okay.
football player
Yeah.
turned finger quote actor.
How would you feel if it was like Nicolas Cage or
Put
this
the bunny
time,
back in the
then, no.
box.
Yeah,
What
at
was he-
this time, I don't think so. This is 92.
no, not Nicolas Cage, but Bull Durham. Fucking
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner? That
I
dog
mean,
shit.
we're-
I think
we-
Kevin
we're-
Costner's
Did
right
you
now.
just go Bull Durham for Kevin Costner? You didn't say
Field of
anything
Dreams,
else. You could
which
have
is
said
more associated with
Waterworld
Iowa.
or Yellowstone.
The
Who's
Untouchables?
the guy in the Postman?
The Untouchables, which is kind of actually an action movie.
I'm thinking of a really big mafia actor. He was in the Psychology movie with Billy Crystal. Are you trying to analyze this with De Niro?
But no, how would you feel about Costner being in it?
I mean, I'd still watch it because I'm a Costner head, but it's going to have a lot less kicking, a lot less punching, and a lot more drama.
Yeah,
and
that's
think
what I was
think you're
thinking,
going to
too.
bore this movie up. They're also going to take it from a pretty beautiful runtime, and they're going to go over 2 hours. Costner
Yeah.
doesn't fucking step on set for an hour 24.
Oh yeah. We're gonna go from 84 minutes to 193.
Easily, easily.
Glorious
So,
runtime, by the
we're all
way, in
around-
and out.
We're all around the
Oh
board.
boy, I checked that.
Snipes is the best character for this. Or
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
Snipes is the greatest.
I don't
action
think
star.
you're getting any fucking better.
Correct.
The director here is a guy named Kevin Hooks, who mostly did a bunch of TV from the looks of it. He did a few other movies. He was in Inner Space as a character named Dwayne. but
Okay.
I don't know who that is. Probably no one.
It's probably the scientist that gets shocked and goes, "Ow, thanks for telling me." Probably.
And his dad is also in this movie. His dad plays the FBI guy.
The head FBI with the big
yeah.
beautiful mustache.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now. It's
Who's
down
dad?
here buried somewhere in the notes. The director's dad.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's not Snipes' dad.
But,
He played Dwight Henderson.
okay.
The actor is Robert Hooks.
you folks who have been on this before, I don't know if you heard our episode before
Nope.
I pulled it down because it was my first one, but we have another one coming. Stuart Raffle wrote the story for this, who is the guy who wrote and directed Tammy and the T-Rex.
I have a lot to say about him too.
Wait, somebody wrote Tammy and the T-Rex?
That wasn't just a fly by
I
their
mean, he
seat.
was writing stuff on set, but
Are you
he
saying
wrote it.
writing? Like R-I-D-I-N-G? Was he
He
writing
was
the
writing
T-Rex?
Tammy and the T-Rex. That's how she got the job.
Sign me up.
How do you
Also,
pronounce
though-
that guy's name? Sorry.
I said Stuart Raffle.
Raffle, no. Okay, so I got to interrupt you, man, because I did. Y'all read the Wikipedia thing about what the?
No,
how
that's
the
not my
script-
job.
That's fine. Yeah, you don't get paid to do it. Yeah. No. So this
Wait,
guy,
you got a job?
British white guy, Stuart Raffle, also wrote and directed Mac and Me. By the way, you probably
Yeah,
know
Mac
that.
and Me.
It's a
He
great
He's
commercial.
he wrote a script that says it was written as an action film for a guy like Clint Eastwood about a man going to bury his son in Spain who sat next to an Iranian terrorist on a plane. Terrorist hijacks the plane, takes the passengers to Iran. Then Clint Eastwood escapes, captures the mullahs, and holds them as prisoners in exchange for the American prisoners.
Wow.
And he
That
there's
sounds
mo-
a lot more racist.
But wait,
Yes.
oh, there's more. There's more.
There's more.
Raffle says, quote, the head of the studio said to me, if I make that movie, they'll blow up the theaters. They will. So I did a
They.
couple of rewrites for
they.
them. Yeah, for Warner Bros. Who owned it. Then I got another picture and came back, and then it became a black movie, end quote.
There is
Awesome.
a line
Awesome.
about there is a mic drop of a line in this movie that has to do with the color of his skin, and I
Yes.
love it.
Yes.
Which will
But
tie
shall
in-
we-
I did say though that he wrote the story for the script.
Correct.
He's
Yeah,
not
yeah, no.
credited for screenplay. He's credited for story.
Yeah, the first part, like the first, I don't know, third or something, or the
The
first
guy
quarter
who's
of it.
credited, well, there's two credited as story and there's two credited as screenplay. One guy is both. So Stuart Raffle's credited as story. Dan Gordon is credited as both, and he wrote Last Blood and Wyatt Earp and a bunch of other stuff. But those are the notable ones.
Speaking of Kevin Costner,
And then David
Yeah.
Lowery wrote Money Train and The Three Musketeers. And he
the
was
Kiefer Sutherland and Charlie
Yeah.
Sheen one.
Yeah.
It's my
Money
favorite
Train,
one.
underrated Wesley Snipes. He gets down to some serious
No,
fucking
Oliver
I mean, I
movies.
wouldn't
Platt?
say it's an underrated. I love Oliver Platt.
Thank you.
Most people wouldn't know him though.
I fucking
He's
love
the bright
him.
spining shot of Lake Placid.
He is the best part of Three Musketeers.
He's the only part I remember. You said Kiefer Sutherland and Charlie Sheen. I was like, Charlie Sheen's in that movie?
Of course he is.
I saw that movie 100 times as a kid because it was one of those Saturday afternoon matinee things my mom always had on.
It's also,
I
I
didn't-
think Tim Curry plays the
Yes, he plays.
Yeah, he plays the Red Cardinal. I don't think Money Train is it's a really fun movie. We just talked about it on Monday. Robert Blake has the best like insults that always have to do with somebody's ass. Like anytime he's threatening somebody, he threatens their ass, and it's fun. But I think it's rated perfectly fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
Also, it'll be a here at some point.
Yeah, it will be.
Maybe when I come back.
I mean, anytime you have Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes playing brothers, we can probably put it on this podcast.
I do have to mention real quick, just because we did an episode on our YouTube page about one of this guy's movies, the cinematographer Mark Irwin was the cinematographer on The Retirement Plan.
Ooh.
Also Scream and RoboCop 2 and a bunch of kids movies starring dogs.
I thought you were making RoboCop 2 a kids movie right there.
I mean, no.
Fucked up ass childhood.
I mean, I saw RoboCop as a child. Does
Yeah,
that
you got a
explain
fucked
anything?
up ass childhood.
Yeah, I
watched
think I
that
saw
too.
it when I was like 5.
Dude, my parents let me watch Candyman when I was a child. I literally texted my mom like a year ago when I rewatched it, and I said, "Why the fuck did you let me watch this movie in Spanish? Why the fuck did you let me watch this movie, Ama?" And she was like, "Because you wanted to." I was like, I was a baby. You should have said no."
How do you sleep these days?
Exactly.
Well, my sister
Badly.
desensitized me at a young age. She's the one that had me watch all that shit when I was 5. Like The Exorcist and Candyman and Faces of Death telling me it was real. And
Like I tell people I saw Jurassic Park when it came out, and I was like, what, 7? Because it was 92.
Yeah.
So 6. And they're like, wow, you were pretty young for that. And I'm like, it's Jurassic Park. It's
I
fine.
still maintain none of us should have seen Never Ending Story. Like
Ever?
in general. I mean, at least not as a little fucking kid. I was like,
It prepares you for
5?
the disappointments
it
of
does.
life.
It really, really
I think
does.
that's something you should discover on your own.
I'm not the kind of guy who's like, "Oh, you should censor these movies. You should stop violent movies." I will say that I do believe you let a little kid watch those movies, something breaks. Like I feel like if I
Yeah.
didn't watch Candyman as a kid, I probably would have passed the LSAT. Like literally.
I might have a normal, healthy relationship if it wasn't for Never Ending Story.
There you go.
Maybe.
I mean, I
You wouldn't always be worried about her falling into the bog of sadness or whatever.
I think I am the bog of sadness.
I didn't completely censor Zoe with everything she watched, but
You
I
don't
was.
say.
What?
You don't say.
But there was some things that she just did not want to watch. The second she saw somebody even kissing, she's like, "I'm out."
Yeah.
Yeah,
This-
she wanted to see Deadpool when it came out, and everybody was
she
like,
was
"You
what,
can't let her watch
12?
that." And I was like, "It's fine." So we turned it on. It starts with like a 30-minute fucking scene, and they just started kissing and shit. She's like, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck," and she walked out of the room.
But her father had her watch like The Family Guy and The Simpsons
fine.
and American Dad, and he's like, "It's fine, it's animated."
I
I'm
think
like,
it's just called Family Guy. You sound older when you say the Family
The
Guy.
Family Guy.
It's like the TikTok.
"Yeah, I am old. I'm geriatric compared to you."
That's fair.
So
this
I knew his
movie-
brother bariatric.
This
Oh.
movie is one of the more successful movies we've covered. $44 million on a $15 million budget.
Oh, that's a win.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's a win for that.
most of our movies are like it cost $10 million, it made $80,000. Like,
A lot of the ones cost $1 million.
I'm telling you, man, I got great taste. That's why I brought this movie to y'all.
You and a bunch of people that saw it in theaters.
Yeah, me and my dad, we were up for back then. What, like $4? 92?
you put it over the top.
Also, let's not give my dad too much credit. He's kind of a scumbag. I don't know this, but I would bet money that his thought process was, I'm going to take my kid to see this manly movie so he doesn't grow up to do gay shit. I promise you that's what it was.
I'm raising no bitch.
Yeah, exactly. I promise you that's what that was.
Oh, man, that explains a lot of what I watch with my dad. Holy
Right?
shit.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
You had one of those don't do gay shit
Yeah,
dads?
absolutely.
There you go.
My parents didn't watch movies, which explains why I have 1,000 of them.
Well, let's get into this one because
Yes.
we are gushing
So-
over
Oh,
it
yeah,
without
sorry.
talking
We start
about
with Charles Rain.
Actually, we start with an opening credits with some sexy bass music. Like the opening
You know
credits
what?
scene, that music, man, I
The
was getting
bass
into
for
it.
this movie is great because even later on the airplane, it's that like coked out slap bass, and I
Yeah.
love it.
I got a, speaking of like racist things that you were talking about earlier with Stuart Raffle, I got a very like, but it's Wesley Snipes vibe from a lot of this music.
Yeah.
It's like, look, he's doing action. So it's like,
Yes, that is.
He's headed to the bathroom.
well, that's
Again,
Seinfeld.
all the more reason why you should have gotten down to some fucking. But, again,
But we have Charles Rain, played by a guy named Bruce Payne, who is very close to being an evil Batman.
Yeah.
Bruce Payne, you know.
did you catch that right at the beginning? He's having plastic surgery, and the FBI agent said he keeps changing his face. If we don't catch him now, we won't have a chance
And
ever
apparently
again.
he
Face
knew they were coming, so why did he show up?
This opening scene kind of it boggles me a bit.
Were you having face-off surgery, motherfucker? Like,
Well,
what?
and
He
what
was
about
about
his-
to become John Travolta.
What
Like,
about
worst
his
movie.
line to the doctor though? Because the doctor's like, "I got to give you something for the pain. There will be no pain." So you're a fucking maniac already. But I'm stuck on what you're saying. You know the FBI is coming, or did he see the doctor sweating, looking at the clock, and was
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
I've never
I
understood
think
this.
that's
happening.
what he.
It's
That's
like
what I
his-
picked
But
up.
Okay.
it's like his thing throughout the movie being like, what time is it? Because he knows right when things are going to happen. Like his plans are coming out. So like maybe he went so the FBI wouldn't be suspicious. And then he's like, that's fine. I can outrun the FBI.
But he
I've
should have
done
had
it
a better
before."
exit strategy.
Yeah.
Also, FBI is gun happy in this fucking scene. They're shooting this hospital, I'm assuming.
I think it's what he wanted. He
Well, it's
wanted
like
the
a-
distraction.
It's like a
And they did
plastic
say
surgery office, though. It's kind of like the one from, what was that show you were watching with the plastic
Nip
surgery
Tuck?
people?
Nip
Tuck?
Tuck.
I haven't
It's
thought
like
about that
their
show
own
in
private,
20 years.
thing. It's not a hospital.
I'll do another 20.
Anybody who's getting killed in here probably deserves it.
Well, I'm not going to argue that.
I just thought of something. Wait, it's 92 and there's no like cameras and facial recognition software. He just shaved his fucking mustache. Like that's what changing his face means.
Ooh,
Like,
see
Remo?
previous episode, Remo,
Remo
Williams.
yeah.
he's a master of disguise.
We gave you plastic
See.
surgery. You
There-
shaved
he
my
wa-
beard.
He wasn't going to surgery. He was at the barbershop. They were gonna cut that sick mullet into like fucking a fade, and he will disappear forever.
The
That
doctor's like, I'm
scalpel-
going to numb you. He's like, there will be no pain. And it's a haircut.
That scalpel's his straight
That's
razor.
what he meant. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I get real close.
But it does start the movie with an action sequence. So at least we've got that. He jumps through a fucking window, which
3
is awesome,
stories.
right out of the gate on this movie, down and just lands on that umbrella, which apparently breaks your fall. so.
I hated that part. I was like,
What?
man, where's an awning or something? Just because it's such a high fall.
You
And
could impale yourself on that thing.
absolutely. What about their brunch they're having? These fucking yuppies.
Oh, well, those,
you know they
those
got
pancakes
mimosas.
were extra soft. That's how he didn't break his ankle.
You'll also
I'll buy
literally
that.
see him land on a mattress, or rather
Yeah.
the stunt guy. Which I gotta say, I hate that I grew up to be the guy that I hate. The washed trampy. This like in my day, blah blah blah. I try not to do a lot, but man, the real stunts in this movie, 90s action movies, they do not make them like they used to.
No,
Oh,
they
you're in the
don't.
right. You're in the right room then.
Yeah.
Now it'd be like all CG, all green screen, and I know it's like they're
Safety.
safer. So, but
But
bad
sometimes it's not though.
Bad
And
movies,
sometimes
worse
it's
people.
just-
Bad movies, worse people. I'm willing to sacrifice some stunt guys for cinema. I'm sorry. I am. I am.
It's not safety so much as it's insurance cost.
Yes.
I think that's what
Sure.
it comes
I don't-
down to.
I don't know
It's,
how-
it's production
Safety.
studios being like, it's for your safety, but really it's for their bottom line.
I don't know how Hollywood works. You probably know better than I do, but I will say there's no
It's a
way
bunch of
that
liars.
Yes, stunt guys. There's no way stunt guys aren't like the working class of the Hollywood community.
They are.
Pay them more. Make sure they know what they're getting into, and let them choose. All right, we're gonna have this fucking sick scene where you're gonna jump off of a helicopter onto I don't know, like a jet ski.
I bet you there's a bunch of stuntmen that would volunteer
They'll
to
do that shit. They will do
Right?
that shit. We'll pay you fat stacks. Your kids won't go hungry if you die, and you will be immortalized forever.
And
I
that
know
scene
they
will
do
be
that
on the
shit.
movie.
So
They would do that shit.
I have a movie called Undeclared War that I got from Vinegar Syndrome that has, I can't think of the guy's name right now, but he's the dude that was the bad guy in Commando with the mesh shirt.
Uh-huh.
The
the
Australian
Australian
dude,
guy, yeah.
Vernon.
You've told me this story. I don't know if it was on
Vernon
air or not.
something. But he has a whole bit in this behind the scenes thing where he's talking about like, we did this and this for these stunts, and he's like, nowadays he's like, I don't do stunts and I don't really do stuff anymore. He's like, because nowadays the director would be like, okay, we're gonna jump off this thing, you're gonna flip this car, we're gonna do that and that, and he's like, okay, when do we start? And they, oh well, we'll just do it all on the computer. You're already good.
Yeah, you're not.
And he's
doing
like, I don't
that.
want to do that.
Yeah.
So there are people out there that are like, no, let me fucking jump off something.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Dude, I worked at Pinnacle Peak for years, and I know it's a smaller version of stuntmen, but those guys were absolutely nuts and loved it.
Yeah. Speaking of stuntmen, while Charles Rain, I'll just call him Rain, while Rain is running down the street away from the FBI, there's all these people in his way, right? And Whitney called it. There's this dude standing there in a
Just
tie with
looking
like
up,
a
doing
mullet,
nothing.
not paying any attention. And she was like, that dude's gone. He's running by this guy and just shoves this motherfucker as hard
Into
as
traffic. He's just like, boom.
You know who else would do that? The fucking Joker.
Exactly. Dude, Rain gives no fucks, and I kind of here for it, man. I like him as a villain.
Great villain. We got to make clear he's very British. He's very British.
Yeah, and
He's a
and
little
it's-
too flat for me. I know what they're going for.
That's insane that you said that. Insane in the Charles reign.
There are scenes where I'm surprised this plane isn't going down from holes in the side from him chewing on it, and there are scenes where he's just not doing it.
You know what? That's well said because he is a good villain most of the time.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I'm like, man, I could be just nodding out when you're delivering this line.
Well, Charles Rain is not insane.
Blame
He is
it
the
on
reign
the
of
rain.
terror, as we
He
learned.
is the reign of terror.
Rain.
So there's this fucking Culligan's truck that has all the sides open for some
Why?
reason and spills water everywhere, and it makes him fall, and he gets caught.
They're in a big city. They're making a bunch of stops. He
Again,
didn't plan on this.
No, I think it's exactly what he planned. He planned for all of this because he had all the people on the plane already.
He had the
knew
sparkless
exactly
delivery
what was gonna
schedule.
happen.
He knew when it was going to get delivered to the hospital.
No,
He
because
ordered
cuts
water.
to the interrogation room, and he tells this lawyer, "Do you know when they're having me leave and where?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're going to take you to L.A. or from L.A. Let my people know. They'll know what to do."
Yeah, he
Okay.
set
So
this all
he-
up
yeah,
after.
he-
Oh, I missed that.
The plan was not to get caught and go on the plane. The plan was to get him off the plane once he was caught.
Yeah,
I
no,
still
I
defer
don't think he
because
was
how would they
planning on
not
getting
know
caught.
how would they already know what to do? He's
They
like,
know him.
This is going to happen, so you need to
Well,
do
because if he
this.
was planning on getting caught, he wouldn't have run as much as he did. Because that's a wild card. Are they just going to shoot you down?
Oh yeah,
No, because they wanted
that's a
to
variable.
Yeah,
He's
they
got-
need this guy dead. He's been crashing planes apparently.
He's
so-
got contingency. He's got a big giant wheel back at the hideout, and they spin it. And whatever it lands on, that's what they're like, all right, we got to go with the airplane thing. That's what the needle's on there.
There
Well, he
is
has
one
it-
part where he's charged. They're like, he's blown up 2 planes and da da da. And doesn't he say, "I've done 27"?
Yeah.
That's half of what I did, or something like
they
that,
said
right?
it's a lot smaller than that. The guy says something about they know you did these 2, and he's like, I've done twice as many, and I'm like,
Yeah,
so 4.
so
Just say 4. Like if it was 15, I've done twice as many as a thing. But
That's got some gravitas
You've done
to
2.
it.
I did twice as many. You've done 2 shots. I've done twice as many.
I love the screen.
You ate that whole egg? I ate twice as many.
I love the screenplay. Like, I don't know what you call it, trying to fix that situation where he says, "Why would you put a guy that hijacks planes on a plane?"
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but also the fact that you write it in doesn't make it less stupid.
Yeah.
I know. It's fine, guys. We can figure it
See,
out.
I missed
I'll fix
that
it, I'll fix
line,
it.
but I said that line.
He exactly said that.
They call it Ryan Seacresting when you make fun of yourself before anybody else can, and that's what they did. They're like, no, we already said it. Don't make fun of us. We got it.
Yeah, we know, guys.
I just
So-
kind of wish they would have the jailbird from Con Air. Like, Like, why would you put this guy in a commercial fucking thing? Rent out a whole airplane. Like, you're the fucking FBI, dude. You've got some extra money.
Yeah.
And in the 90s, that would have cost like $200.
Yeah.
To rent out a
Just
whole
go
plane.
overthrow one quick cartel. You know what I mean? Head over to El Paso real quick.
Just sell a few more guns. That's the CIA.
Dip
That's
into the
fine.
slush fund. It's all the same.
They're all
Three-letter
feds.
accurate. Yeah.
Just put more crack in the hoods.
Insert 3-letter acronym.
And then we meet John Cutter.
John Cutter. Cool names in this movie, by the way. John Cutter.
I love it.
Rain.
He had a lot of other cool names. Yeah.
But yeah, so John
Forget.
Cutter.
Fly.
Forget.
Forget.
We'll get to-
I
we'll-
did the same thing when I saw him on IMDb, though. I was like, this guy's name is Forget.
Yeah.
We'll get
Yeah,
to
because
Tom
you'll forget
Sizemore. in a
him.
Yeah, I
second.
actually
I'm
kind of
so
want to get
excited.
to the whole henchman. So let's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's-
so
let's
they
get to
so we have
Wesley.
John Cutter, Wesley Snipes, and it looks like he's hijacking a plane, but surprise, he's a teacher.
You saw the trailer. You know it's all fucking.
yeah,
for
exactly.
Show.
He's
Come on.
he's Wesley Snipes. He's the good guy, probably.
Yeah.
Unless it's Demolition Man.
Even then, he might
I'm
be the
still
good
on
guy.
his side on Demolition
He
Man.
might be the good guy.
Yeah.
Well, he is
I'll
trying
take
to
his
get rid of
side.
that horrible society, which is not that different from ours.
I mean, he just wants to kill Dennis Leary. Are you going to blame him for wanting to kill Dennis Leary?
no.
I've been wanting to do that for 20 years.
Once again, he's the good guy.
But they're making a training video to teach people how to get rid of or to stop a hijacker. But this girl, Marty Slayton, played by Alex Datter. Marty,
Great Scott, Marty.
you have to stop the hijacking. It's about your kids.
We're flying at 121 gigawatts.
And then we meet also Sly Del Vecchio, played by
Del Vecchio.
by Tom
Del
Del
Vecchio.
Vecchio.
Bro,
Sorry.
Sly Del Vecchio is what I would call an Italian guy if I was trying to come up with a slur. I fucking love that name. I fucking love that name. Some guy getting in my face, like, get out of my face, you fucking Sly Del Vecchio. Get
Some-
fucking my face.
Just some fucking Karen and Chad in an Italian restaurant. Now give me my fucking pasta, Slide Del Vecchio. God, you believe this shit? It's like you can't even get a good meal at Macaroni Grill anymore.
I've watched this movie so many times, every single time, including last night. I think Tom Sizemore's going to be crooked because it's fucking Tom Sizemore.
Dude,
Same.
Right?
dude, this is my
Yes.
second time seeing this, and I'm like, is he one of the bad guys?
I knew for a fact he was. I was waiting for him to pull out a gun on Wesley Snipes.
Whitney literally said that. She's like, "Well, he's bad guy."
Because his
He's
name
bad
is
guy.
Sly, and he's fucking played by Tom Sizemore.
Well,
by the way, rest in pictures.
supposedly-
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
pictures.
Rest
Yeah,
in
yeah,
pictures.
last year, yeah.
Yeah, not even a calendar year, I don't think.
No.
Damn.
Supposedly, the character is named Sly because of Sylvester Stallone backing out on the thing, and so one of the writers
I
threw
was
that
wondering.
in there.
They should have made him really just awful. Like every time he pulls his gun out, he drops it, shits his pants. Oh, Sly.
Great Tom Sizemore performance. He's smiling. He's like friendly. He's
Yeah,
He's
he
there.
is.
He's there.
Yeah,
He's making that check.
he's your cool buddy that you enjoy hanging out with. Like you want to grab a beer with this guy, not 47 beers.
Well, you want to grab a beer, not a bump.
There you go.
Because he's gonna offer you both.
Yeah, of course he is.
You know what? If this
Not
is
that-
10 years ago, I would have fucking bumped with him.
Not
It's
that I
your
wouldn't
guess
turn
about
down-
which one comes first, though.
Not that I would turn down a bump from Tom Sizemore. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's rude to turn down blow anyway. Like, come on.
Cut to a
grown-up
cut to a scene at the bar where Classy and Sizemore just sitting there, just philosophizing about what came first, the bump or the beer. Well, it's an age-old question, man.
Well, if you ask
Speaking
neighbor,
of, let's go to the bathroom.
Let's sniff about it.
Then let's talk about that degree I got in philosophy.
So
I
Tom
stole it.
Sizemore is trying to get him to be. I thought he was trying to get him back into like the
Secret
FBI
Service
or something. Yeah,
something.
but
Yeah.
he also works for the same airline. But he keeps telling him to come back. I'm like, he's still there. Yeah,
But he's not in it.
Or maybe he's
training.
just contracting
yeah,
as
he's
a
just
trainer.
contracted as a
Okay.
trainer.
Yeah.
Either
he
way.
wants him. He wants him back in the office. He wants lunchtime bumps with his buddy. I mean,
He-
fist bumps.
He wants. So this is where we learn that there was another person. There was a Lisa in his life.
There's a lady in
he
his life, yeah.
wants. He wants John to be back to where he was after, like before the situation.
Do we have a time frame on Lisa? Because Lisa gets killed
For some
in a
reason, and it
flashback.
might
I
have
wanna
been
say it's like
mentioned.
a year.
I was gonna say I had the vibe of like a year.
Okay.
So maybe it's something Sizemore said. I don't.
Okay.
He also says, like, yeah, ever since Lisa died, you haven't been the same or something like
Yeah.
that, which...
Let's get to the best role in the fucking the best role that you want to be in
Yes.
this movie is the chick that gets to frisk Wesley Snipes.
Oh, boy.
How do you do that?
What? Not get a boner? Because that's my question. Like, how do you have a beautiful girl
before-
touch you like that?
No,
you don't
but
get
I
When he
love
comes
boned
to
the
the
up.
response
airport,
it
though, we
gets.
do have this scene where Snipes is driving in his Corvette to go to this lunch meeting with Tom Sizemore and Bruce Greenwood.
Greenwood.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the show. From he was a nobody, but he was in First Blood.
Also, Wesley Snipes always has amazing cars in every movie. As Blade, as
Are they his personal cars?
It might
I
be.
think
Gotta
if you
be.
don't provide it,
feel
he
like
will.
He's
Yeah,
Leno,
yeah.
he's Lenoing this shit.
every
Yeah.
single
Yes.
movie, he's just driving the sickest cars.
or maybe that's
Yeah.
in his contract.
and
Also
it's-
that, yeah.
and it is definitely playing some fucking Skinamax music while he's driving down the road. I'm
Wait,
like,
that
he's alone in
saxophone
a
is
car. Is he
going.
the
jerking off?
saxophone is out of control in this
The
movie.
saxophone?
I am so here for
What's
it.
he driving in White Men Can't Jump?
Some really fancy convertible. Some
Is it?
sexy ass convertible. I just rewatched it recently.
Like a Mustang or something?
I don't know cars. But
We'll check it
Sebring.
out.
But
We'll
it-
check
Did you
it
watch that
It was
stupid? Did you watch that stupid new one?
no, I
God,
didn't even
no.
know it. Oh, they came out with a new one, didn't they?
Yeah,
The
they
show?
did like a remake. Was it a show or a movie? It was streaming.
You
so
know,
I
I'll
don't
have
know.
no part of it.
Yeah, I have no interest because why? But anyway, I just wondering if you saw it.
Nah, I'm good.
I'll pass.
But yeah, he goes to this meeting with Bruce Greenwood playing Stuart Ramsey, the head of whatever
Airlines,
American International Airlines or whatever, and they've just give him a VP job like at the sea, and I'm like, well, all right, that
like
works.
Allegiant.
he
He's
has
like,
this,
yeah, we'll
You're
hire
that
you.
amazing.
he has this look like that sounds awful, but also sounds like a lot of money. So he doesn't say shit.
I just like how Sly was like, man, you got to get back in the shit with me, Vice President. That's not in the shit.
I took this job so I could tell
I'm
you
now
what to
your
do.
boss.
I still don't understand this. He didn't know that Charles Rain, Bruce Payne, whatever the hell his name is, was going to be on
Bruce
that
Wayne.
plane. Bruce Wayne was going to be on the plane with Charles Rain. Why was Wesley Snipes on the plane as the vice president? That's not what VPs do. Just
He
to
knows
just
he
right
was-
in
they
the
were
air.
sending him-
He had to be flown to them.
to like
to
to
actual-
NEO, new employee orientation. What like?
Yeah, I don't know. He was going to something headquarters, even though the one they were at is back where he was.
Oh,
right?
it's like a shareholders or something meeting because he's supposed. Sly even tells him, he's like, work on something, like to impress people, like a speech or something.
Oh,
And
yeah,
all
it's
he
like
had to
to
do was take his
introduce
shirt off
himself.
and flex. He's like, I'm vice president. Just start kicking people in the front row.
He could have been
Yeah.
the vice president of America that way. Honestly,
Any questions? No.
You know what? Wesley Snipes for president.
Fuck yeah. I want him to play Batman. We're way too long now. There's
It
no
doesn't
way.
matter. He can still do it.
He
can
can
play
we
old
would still
Batman.
watch it, but I'm saying studios won't do it.
Well, you know what? He can't play old Batman because old Batman in the comics was written by
Frank Miller?
Frank Miller, and he's not having any part of a black guy playing
Teensy bit
Batman.
racist, that Frank Miller.
send this back to like 30 seconds ago. Hey, baby, we're getting rid of Al Gore. This is my new VP. Wesley Snipes, baby. It's the 90s. Hey, Wesley, you want to come to Epstein Island with us, baby?
He just turns into Blade. You bloodsuckers.
Hey, invite Sizemore. He's got that dope coke.
What's my boy Sly doing, man?
Oh, I'm going to do a bump of Sizemore in the bathroom. Chelsea,
Wait a
distract your
minute.
mother, Chelsea.
Is he the one providing the sexagram here? Or the saxophone? Is that a Bill Clinton?
That's right.
He was
Yes.
just on set
Done.
playing one day and they're like, fucking record that.
He's getting his blowjob, and he's just like,
And he was on Arsenio Hall doing the saxophone. He was like,
Woo,
guess
woo,
what?
woo.
There's a movie in which fucking people think Wesley Snipes is me. You should get on that.
There
Oh,
is a
baby.
tie up here, fellas.
we did it for you.
You're
So
welcome.
yeah, then Snipes is going through security, and the thing keeps going off, and so this lady's like, "I need to check you myself," and she straight up grabs his dick.
Yes, she does.
yeah.
She's
And
shaking hands.
It's right
fucking
by his
great.
knee.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
I was like,
You can
she started
actually
feeling
see
up
it.
by his knee, and I was like, careful. And then she's just like,
What's
yoo-hoo.
beeping, by the way? She checks him and nothing like
You know what it
It's
is?
his earring.
She's got a button behind the counter.
Yes.
It's called Hot Person
There you
Frisk.
go. I
Anytime
thought-
they walk through, like, sorry.
I
Because
thought
Sizemore even asks him, like, how do you always do that? And I think he means go through security and get felt up.
Yeah.
That is what he means. He's like, you wouldn't get it. It's a black thing. And he's like, I get black things.
Yeah.
I
I'm like-
thought he had an adamantium lace penis that goes snicked when he gets hard.
So I do need to rewind a little bit because when he and Sly are talking, when Sly's trying to get him to go to this meeting, Wesley Snipes is wearing white slacks.
Yes.
And you can see his dick flopping
Bro.
Thank
down
God
the
for
left side of
4K.
his leg.
100%.
Like, I'm just all his head is
HD.
below
Classy,
the
you had
zipper.
mentioned him playing Terminator. So you remember how Terminator's dick was flopping around in that first one?
Dude.
If this
This
was
is
Wesley
why-
Snipes, it would have been an NC-17.
That's why
Yeah.
that's why they didn't do it. They're like, we got to get someone with just a slightly smaller dick.
So she feels him up, and he goes through. Oh, we did miss. Speaking of rewinding, there was one thing with Charles Rain talking to the lawyer because
Oh, I wrote this
he
down.
loses his
Oh,
fucking
this-
mind. This lawyer is like, "Oh, we'll just plead insanity," and Charles Rain is not insane. He
Say
makes
it.
him say it over
Grabs
and
the lawyer,
over.
bashing his, I wrote
bashing
down this
his
line
head.
because it is a straight up Joker line. It is the nature of man to confuse genius with insanity. Like you can hear Mark Hamill say that shit.
You're not
Mark Hamill
wrong.
is saying that shit.
I'm
It is the nature of man to confuse genius with insanity.
And I'm like, that's exactly what an insane person would say.
True, also true.
Well, during this scene, I'm like, you're clearly insane, dude. Like,
But,
do you
you
not
know-
see this?
Thank God it's
They-
92 and there's no interrogation room cameras.
I got to derail this again. I mean, okay, look, this movie is amazing, and it gives us a picture of a
We're
time
excited.
long gone. Yeah, before 9/11, the bad guys. Post 9/11, all the bad guys became like Middle Eastern guys.
Yeah.
Which is it's boring. Charles Rain is a great villain because he's just a snooty little bitch.
No
He's a
motivation.
snooty white
No
guy with
motivation.
blonde hair.
Well, because this movie falls into the.
There is motivation. His father.
Oh.
And it is
I mean,
brought
his
up numerous
motivation is
times.
that he's
Daddy
evil.
issues out the
Yeah,
ass.
he's just
That's
got
like,
daddy
yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
But
Can relate.
this comes from the era of action movies that were just Die Hard on a blank.
Uh-huh.
So like,
Sure.
the villain has to be at
Die
this
Hard
point
with
a
kicks.
European something because of oh god,
Hans Gruber?
yes, but. I was trying to think of the actor, and I can't. All of a sudden,
Alan
I feel-
Rickman. Alan
Rickman. Thank you.
Alan
Jesus
Rickman,
Christ.
Mr. Potter.
How dare you disgrace?
I know. I'm ashamed of myself, and I resigned from the podcast.
I'm a
All
little
right.
high.
So now it's us. I just
Let
murdered
me see your
Derek.
notes, dude.
but
Classy's got enough.
Welcome back to Bad Movies, Classy People. Derek Afolder is dead.
And I'm in a tie.
Ooh, how did you just say his last name?
What did I say?
I
You
don't know.
said
I wasn't
A-
listening.
Derek
A
Afolder?
folder.
Yeah, Afolder.
It's an It's an
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, he was insulting you.
It's like assholder.
How
But
long
with
have we been
Fs.
friends that I literally didn't know your last name?
it's a German name, so you gotta
Hold on.
I don't know if that's how they
You
would
could be
say it.
a Charles Rain henchman.
But fuck, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, before the Die Hard on a blank movies, it was Russians because of the Cold War, and then that ended. So then it was vague European.
Indiana Jones already had Nazis.
Yeah, we already did Nazis. So it was vague European for a while, and then, like you said, it became Middle Eastern, and it kind of still is. So because we can't get over that.
There's a line in here. You said that you talked about what the original was going to be with Clint Eastwood and how racist it was.
Iranians, yeah.
There's a little remnants here a little bit. He's like, you know how many planes have been hijacked this year? 27. You know, he's like, except for one company.
The
And it's
Israelis.
The Israelis.
The Israelis.
Because
Yeah,
they don't let those
Israeli air.
motherfuckers on.
Yeah. Which was weird timing watching this right now.
Right now, yeah.
Free Palestine, baby. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Say that shit with my chest.
We just got canceled.
Guess what?
welcome.
Guess what? Everybody in that situation is wrong. But this isn't a political
Yeah,
podcast.
including
so-
us.
I don't know. This can be a political podcast because this movie has
No.
a lot of politics attached to it. You know what, man? Well, white people love 9/11 because they could blame it on brown people. I'm sorry. That's what it is. I'm not talking about anybody, Bad Movies Worst People. I'm not talking about anybody that lost loved ones or friends or anything. I'm talking about the fucking scumbags and my home state of Texas who were like,
Flag humpers.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, took the opportunity to start vandalizing businesses. and-
Absolutely.
You're talking
Yeah.
about the white
Fuck
people
it.
that stormed the fucking.
They're the same people
White
who
House.
started.
Same
Yeah, they're the
people.
same
They're the same
people who started
people.
putting up Nazi flags as soon as Trump was elected.
These are the
you
same
know.
white people put raisins in their potato salad.
How many?
It's a different level of white.
How quickly were they like 9/11? Let's close the border because terrorists are gonna get through. But you hate Mexicans,
Yep.
and this
They
movie
put mayonnaise on their corn, and mayonnaise is spicy.
that happened. This movie
They call it elotes.
this movie harkens back to a time when the villains were who they should be, British people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking white colonial Europeans.
Exactly. Exactly.
I do know. I do remember they said something about when he was in Ireland. Rain was in Ireland.
Oh
and
yeah,
there
they
was
say
bombs
that he
over
did
there.
bombings in Ireland and whatever. But it sounds
Well,
like
that's just what
like-
you do
well,
when you're in
Irish
Ireland.
Starbucks.
it sounds like he's just volunteering himself to whoever's looking for a bombing.
Yeah.
That's the way they describe it. He's like, well, those guys want to bomb those guys. I got it. Oh,
Like-
now those guys want to bomb them back. I'm
Got
in.
you.
I got no preferences.
I'm a
like
bombing
the
mercenary.
fucking Joker.
What is it?
Right?
As long as you pay us, I don't ask questions.
Oh yeah, deep
From
rising,
Deep
right?
Rising?
Yeah, was it if the check clears,
If the check clears, yeah, whatever it was. I
we
can't
take
remember. That was
questions
ages
in the
ago.
rears? I don't remember.
We take questions in the rear. All right. So then we
If
meet
the
this-
money's there, we don't care.
Yes.
That's what it was. Thank you.
That's it.
It did rhyme.
I was like, if the
know.
money's right, we won't fight. What?
We start meeting the sidekicks or the henchmen. First, we have this actor Michael Horst playing Forget,
Uh-huh.
who
Well, before
I recognized immediately though from Twin Peaks. He plays the sheriff in Twin Peaks, not the main sheriff. He's
still
the,
has
like
that
the,
earring,
I guess
too.
he's the deputy because he's an assistant. And that's what I told her. I was like, he's wearing that earring in Twin Peaks too, but I didn't have his name at that point. Michael Horst, he's probably
I was like, I guarantee you,
indigenous of
it's
some sort.
a nod to his nativeness, and
because it's a turquoise earring,
Yeah.
so it makes sense.
Before you see him, though, you get just walking
Ooh.
in the distance, coming up to the plane is welcome back to the show, Mark McCauley.
Macaulay.
You see him like walking to the belly, the,
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
galley, and
I was
instantly
like,
I was
he's
like,
a bad guy.
Do you remember what we did an episode with him?
I'm trying to think. I know.
I mean, he's in a bunch, but Bad Boys.
oh yeah, okay.
Oh.
That's
Yeah, he's got the Tom Sizemore face. You're like, that's a bad guy.
yeah,
That is a bad
Yeah,
guy.
It's not your fault.
Also,
No.
I didn't realize she was in it. I was like, is that a beautiful Hurley?
A fairly early Hurley.
1992
This is
Elizabeth Hurley.
This is before Married to Hugh
Yes,
Grant,
please.
right? Or
Yes, please.
right when she.
Was anybody else rooting for a hookup scene between her and Snipes?
100%.
Yeah.
I
100%.
wanted
For
the
people who
director's
can't
cut
see
though.
me, I am vigorously waving my arms.
I
Also,
wanted,
a
I wanted the
2024
director's cut though,
Elizabeth
where we
Hurley.
can watch it.
Oh yeah.
A 2024 Elizabeth Hurley I'll take easily, but also 1992 Elizabeth Hurley.
Oh, any
my
time in
goodness.
between.
All of the
Also-
Elizabeth Hurleys
Yeah.
after she was 18. And
Yes. Nice caveat.
this
there.
was one of her very first roles. So I at first I thought, okay, she's just gonna be flight attendant number 3 or
She's
whatever.
gonna be like Cameron Diaz.
But she ended up being a character.
Yeah.
No, you know she's a bad guy right away.
She's British.
Well,
Yep.
she straight up says she has a moment where she's like, I'm the bad guy because she's talking to Marty and she's, I love your accents. Oh, really? I think it's cold and heartless. Heartless. I don't know how to fucking say that in British.
It's
Heartless.
code. It's code and heartless.
I pronounce the U in heartless, but
Hutless.
And she's like, oh, I think it's great. She's like, trust your first impressions. Oh, I'm a bad guy. Come on. Now, of course, when I was 6, I didn't even know didn't know what that voice was. But now I'm like, okay, come on. That's
We get a future shitbird. I mean, he didn't do anything else, but this kid sucks.
He.
Yeah.
And he does finger guns. He finger blasts them.
Dude, these two finger bang each other. back
and yeah,
forth.
Mr. Payne, as it were, would take he's doing
He took the
he's
hit.
playing back with the kids, like, oh, got me, and then pulls out 2 guns,
Showing
and
his handcuffs.
and shoots the kid. Now everybody sees he's got handcuffs, and we're all upset
Yeah.
because we think he's very kinky.
Oh yeah, he's trying to get it on with Marty, with Hurley. I didn't.
I
catch
think
that.
he was trying to fuck his
her name
lawyer.
was
I was hoping
Sabrina.
for a Wesley
That
Snipes
doesn't
and
matter.
fucking
Okay.
Bruce Payne sex scene.
Did you hear
I'll take
that? I didn't get one of the actress, the cast.
nice.
The character name. She got the actor name.
Yeah,
It's
oh,
Elizabeth
that's a
Hurley.
reverse.
Exactly.
But her character's name was Sabrina. She mentions it
That's right.
because
because
Marty's
I'm
like, I like
oh,
your
that's
name.
a beautiful name.
But no one cares because we're going to call her Elizabeth Hurley.
For the
So,
rest of her life, for sure.
and then Marty is doing a count, and this is where we kind of get the titular line here because she's counting how many passengers are on the plane. She gets to Wesley Snipes.
She doesn't even say
57.
50. She doesn't even say
She does.
57. She goes 56, 50,
Oh, okay.
58, 59.
That's right. She doesn't finish because she's pissed at Wesley Snipes for
Yeah.
telling her not to be dumb.
It's the only time a woman hasn't finished with him.
And he's talking to her in the galley or the whatever serving area they have because the galley's downstairs.
Yeah.
'Cause
Bar.
apparently this plane has a fucking downstairs.
This plane
All
is
planes
fucking
do.
huge.
But it's a fucking elevator.
Where
Literally,
do
he
you-
says, get in the elevator.
This is
Where
back
do
when-
you think your luggage goes?
Well, there's
Not an
that's
elevator,
where they-
motherfucker.
That's where they keep luggage, but there's not a kitchen down there. These
Yeah.
motherfuckers are microwaving shit at the front.
No,
Oh,
I
yeah, there's
guarantee
no-
you they're
Maybe
No.
in the
downstairs.
90s, though. Maybe in the
Maybe
90s.
in the 90s.
Either
yeah.
way,
Back
because
when
it
they
is the
gave you
90s.
Because they don't
food.
give you food
now,
anymore.
now they're like, it's only a 12-hour flight. You've got peanuts. Or
Nope,
sorry, pretzels.
pretzels.
You can't have peanuts.
Yeah.
I also thought it was just like the stewardess is anything I can do to make you happy.
Flight attendant.
Flight attendant. Yeah. Well, it depends because
Stewardess?
Elizabeth Hurley calls
Stewardess.
herself the stewardess
Yeah, this is 1992.
because she's a
Yeah.
fake one.
Yeah.
That's why.
There you go. Yeah, that's another tip that she's.
But
evil.
either
She's
way,
crooked.
the main flight attendant's giving this speech, and she's like, "Anything we can do to make you happier, let us know." Man, I miss that attitude in the airline.
And
Sit
Wesley
down and
Snipes
take
Wesley Snipes keeps ringing
I
this little
will.
bell, and she just ignores him. It's kind of funny.
Uh-huh.
And then they're having a conversation in the little like area there, and he's telling her like, I just don't,
don't like being
I don't
on
like
planes.
planes because if something's going faster than I can walk, I want to drive it. And she's like, who would have guessed? You're a control freak.
Weird.
Shocker.
I did that. That made me laugh.
This movie's funny. This movie's very funny.
Is this where the old lady joins him in the seat?
So yeah, Marty sets this old lady next to Wesley Snipes on the plane after he says he's scared, and this lady is the talkiest lady on the fucking plane.
My nightmare.
It's me when I'm 80 and you're dead.
I would pull a Wesley
and I'm
Snipes.
visiting my grandchildren.
I'd pull a Wesley Snipes. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'll be back in. How long until this plane lands?
I'm gonna take a
Yeah, but at
three-hour
least
shit.
nowadays you have Angry Birds or something.
Dude,
Yeah,
Nowadays,
nothing.
you got fucking earbuds. I put that shit in. I'd be like, sorry, I can't hear you. I'm
Oh
deaf.
yeah.
I love travel. I love traveling. I fucking hate flying. I fucking hate airports. This is my nightmare. Somebody trying to talk to me on the plane. I hope that shit gets hijacked. I would rather have that happen. I don't give a fuck. Oh,
Great. Now I'm rooting for us to die, old lady.
yeah, exactly. It's your fault.
Shut up, Grams.
She's pulling a Forrest Gump on him. She's just telling him a life
Well,
story.
luckily, I mean, she would probably think you're somebody else.
Right.
She would go with any at the time. It
Edward
would have been
James
George
Olmos or-
Lopez,
Yeah, George Lopez.
just because she's a racist old lady.
You think I'm fucking oh shit? God damn it!
You're wearing a Nacho Libre hat. Of course, I don't know what you look like.
Nacho
Uh,
Libre hat.
it's a
You mean
lucha-
It's a
lucha
mask.
There you go.
A
Same thing.
luchador. Same thing.
Nacho Libre was the movie.
John Leguizamo. That's what I was
I
going to
was-
say. She would think I'm John Leguizamo. Sorry. it
There
took
we
me a
go.
second to
I was
remember
like, George
his name.
Lopez wasn't a person in 1992.
Oh, I
was
think
he?
that was the height of his people.
I never heard of him until way later.
When was
No,
Early
92,
2000.
100%.
George
Lopez
Lopez in
was-
'92.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of him until the
Yeah.
2000s.
I've heard of him. He used to do
I don't know.
a show on like public access called Que Locos back in Houston. It wasn't in Houston, but it was like it aired and it was just a bunch of stand-up comedians. He's the guy that made it big out of that.
Okay.
But that was like late '90s, maybe early 2000s.
Really?
I don't think George Lopez was.
I feel like he was. I feel like George Lopez was.
John Leguizamo. Just saw him in Carlito's Way, which I rewatched. For people who don't know who I am, I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican American. That's why. I'm not being racist, being like he's brown. Me too. I am one of them.
Oh yeah, you were definitely one of them there, people. Speaking of one of
Are we
them,
wrong?
She would have racist things to say.
I was gonna
No, I
say,
can't
speaking of
find
one
it.
of them there, people, she thinks that Wesley Snipes is Arsenio Hall,
Yes.
which is kind of wonderful. And
she's going on like, I watch your show all the time. Everybody's going
Well,
to be
first,
so excited.
at first we don't know who she thinks he is. Then she's
Oh,
like, I
I
watch
knew
your
it.
talk show. Oh, did you?
I knew it
I
immediately.
thought she was going to go like athlete. You know,
No.
like, oh, I saw you play the game with the stick.
I saw you throw that ball real far.
She does
You're
fist
the guy
bump,
that plays
woo,
shooty
woo,
hoop.
woo.
Yeah, but she's doing the woo 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 woo.
I think I even said she thinks he's Arsenio before.
Right before she said it. Yeah, right
That-
before she did the woo woo.
Well, no,
That-
before she even said the talk show.
That killed in the theater in '92. I remember that.
Oh,
that
everybody hooting.
killed. No, they just laughed. They all laughed.
Oh.
It was a great joke in the
And
theater.
I mentioned on a recent episode, I think it was on the episode, maybe we were just talking in person, but I told you, Jack, about a show I had recently discovered. I haven't watched it yet, called Martial Law.
Okay.
That was like a martial arts cop thing. Arsenio Hall is like the sidekick in that show. Apparently, there's an episode of that show which came after this, where somebody mistakes Arsenio Hall for Wesley Snipes and then makes the comment, "Oh, I loved you in Passenger 57." So,
Dude, there are so many threads here. I feel like I'm watching like multiverse shit. Is this every Snipes everywhere all at once? Yeah. By the way, Lopez got big '89, and he had
What?
Yeah,
Yep.
and it mostly because of the Arsenio Hall
You're
show.
a baby. You wouldn't remember.
I'm not
You
even
fucking
joking.
knew.
I'm not
fucking
even
serious?
joking. Yeah,
Yes.
89 on
Arsenio Hall
Arsenio
show.
Hall.
I never heard of him until the early aughts.
Well, that's when he had his
But
show.
You were babies. We were fucking 10.
Yeah.
So we understood this.
We were
shit.
fucking
That's
10.
like, you guys are ancient.
I had his CD that we traded around in middle school, I believe. I had the shittiest CD player that would literally skip if you just moved it.
Yeah.
You could tap the CD player and it would skip. It was awful.
It was
You like sneeze near it, and then you have to wait 3
Absolutely.
minutes for the track to resume.
Absolutely.
I was fortunate enough that my parents got me a walking Discman. So
Ooh,
I
little
had
rich
that.
girl over here.
I had that reverb, not the reverb. What's it? It's skip resistant. It still skipped, but
Dude, I had one that claimed it was skip resistant, but I had my sweet little Razor scooter. And if you
Oh,
were
rich boy over here.
he also had inline skates.
if you were riding your little Razor scooter, and it had like the hand strap, the CD player did, so you could like strap it to the back of your hand or whatever. If you're riding your little scooter and you got the CD player, guess what's not skip resistant anymore?
Dude, save some pussy for the rest of us, young Derek. God,
He's
just out there
mine.
slaying.
He is married.
I wouldn't know. Mexicans don't use scooters. I don't know if that's true, but I kind of want to start a stereotype.
Dude, I feel like that young Derek you just described, he ain't getting through a fucking airport without getting frisked inappropriately.
Dude, this Derek isn't getting through an airport without getting frisked.
For
different
completely
reasons.
different
But
reasons.
different reasons, but still.
You know he put weed in his butt. You know he did. Come on, check that guy.
He definitely has drugs. So Elizabeth Hurley calls down for Vincent McCullough down there, whatever.
Oh, before that, I just want to get to a really good jokering from him, I guess we'll call it.
Fuck yeah.
It's when they're doing the food order and the fucking douchey FBI agent's like, I think I met my future ex-wife. Nothing while I'm working, so I'll have the tomato juice and the chicken. And fucking Payne's just like, typical. I'll have a bloody steak.
Boiled meats like back home in the UK.
Oh, boy. Do you
Boiled
have
meats
any-
and
These
mushy peas on a
motherfuckers
plane.
murdered millions to control the spice trade, and they use
Don't
salt
use
and
them.
water.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes no sense. How do you colonize so many places and don't take anything with you besides people? Slaves.
I'm not
the
laughing at
aristocracy.
slavery. I'm laughing at Jack's delivery.
We always laugh at Jack.
That's why I don't work at UPS anymore. Everyone kept laughing at my deliveries.
But she calls Vincent for the special, so he puts a gun or a suitcase. We don't know it's a gun yet, but it's a gun. Puts a briefcase on this thing and sends it up the food elevator there. Dumbwaiter. I guess
Uh-huh.
it's
Yes.
called. But this is like an electronic one, so it's like a smart waiter.
It's a very smart waiter.
It's also people-sized.
Old people,
Oh,
did you
you
have
could
that
fit
shit
two
in the
full
90s?
people in this.
Yeah.
You know what? I bet it's because you're putting carts in
Comfortably.
there.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you got those carts, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
because Snipes and Marty fit right perfectly comfortably in this
Yes.
thing later.
Well, I
so.
mean, like,
I wish it was a little tighter.
comfortable.
I'm surprised there was no smoking on the plane in this movie. Like, that must have been right after they stopped that shit.
They focused clearly on the no smoking sign.
I mean, that's a new thing then, because I
Right.
love tracking smoking on a
Oh,
plane.
this is when movies love to tell people that smoking will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
They're not wrong.
I
they're
don't think
not
there's
wrong,
any
but they can go
smoking
fuck
in this
themselves.
movie.
But some of us kind of want to die, so it's fine. Whatever. Sure.
I don't see any
You
smoking
know
in
what?
this movie.
That's a valid point, because even in the what do you call it, the
At the
watchtower?
yeah, the
there,
station.
you should have somebody puffing a little.
I was
fucking
waiting for
tobacco.
that old man to be like, I picked the wrong day to quit smoking. You know?
The only smoking
wrong
is
dude.
Wesley Snipes' fucking abs.
Picked the wrong
Which
day to
we
quit
don't
sniffing
get to
glue.
see. We see a very bundled up Wesley Snipes.
Oh, I'm
we
mad
don't
at
get
this
his
leather
abs,
jacket.
but we do get him stealing this leather jacket and realizing it's fucking dope, and then
coolest
keeping
fucking
it on the
leather
rest of
jacket.
the movie.
There is that. But
I,
there is
I
that-
didn't like it.
This is a while
No?
back. No, shut up. This is a
You're
while
wrong.
back. But there's a scene where he's meditating and training at home kickboxing.
Oh, you're right.
Shirtless. Come on.
He
you
is
got
shirtless.
That, you get that.
Okay.
Oh
you're right.
yeah, I
Correction.
like that.
Oh, when he was had the
Correction.
flashback, yeah, he was working out and then doing
and that's
his
when we find
meditating
out
and
he
shit,
tried
yeah.
to stop a robber, and the
And
robber killed
killed Lisa instead of him.
Lisa.
And he was so upset about
Oh,
it, but
yeah.
it's really affecting because Wesley Snipes is an amazing actor.
Yeah,
It was he's
I was sad.
amazing.
and he's emoting while he's fucking sparring.
Yeah.
So both the things you like him for are happening. I want to address the leather jacket though. It's just too much bulk on him, and I liked his very clean button-up, short
You
sleeve
like the
collared
V on
shirt.
him.
I like it. I like that.
Sure.
You
But he's
like
also
them sharp
wearing
angles?
a lot of bright colors, a lot of bright shirts in this movie.
I'm loving it.
He's wearing turtlenecks under a button-down shirt.
Yep.
Fucking fantastic look.
Yeah.
He looks great.
That's
He-
92 suave,
You
baby.
know,
Absolutely.
that's one thing the '90s don't need to bring.
I
back.
was wearing
Keep your
Oshkosh
turtlenecks.
Bagosh because I was a child, but I bet that was 90 swag.
I was wearing my hyper colors.
1992. I'm pretty sure I had a rat tail like a Padawan.
yeah.
92. Let's see. I would in 4th grade. I had a perm.
I was 6 years old.
That's awful.
I went to see this movie.
I
6
looked.
years old.
I looked really good.
Said
she
no
knew
one in a
it.
perm except Bob Ross.
I look good with curly hair, bit.
So Elizabeth Hurley shoots these FBI agents. Point fucking blank. Like
Oh,
there's no
yeah.
second. Like she shoots one, the other one's like, huh? Blaff.
I just wish she would have turned the gun on the kid.
Yeah.
We've been talking so
The
long.
kid
We
survives.
just got to the hijacking.
I know. We'll go through the plots because we can't really
Well,
describe
we'll pretty
ass
much
kicking.
skip through
Yeah.
the second act because that's
It's
that's
just
where the
trash.
movie
Or not trash.
lulls for me.
Yeah, the movie takes a layover, which is fine because that's what fucking planes do. That's okay.
That's true.
Yeah, it's a layover.
I do love. She lets Rain go, and he goes into the cockpit. And he's like, "Who's in charge?" The pilot, I am. Blammo. Who's in charge?
You are. Excellent answer.
And then we get a sneaky toilet phone. Wesley Snipes.
I
He
need me
has
one
to
of those.
activate this phone. Oh my god, he has to put a credit card. He has to swipe.
He
it
does
takes
it great though.
He takes 20 minutes to make a call, and he does it sleek. We talked about Die Hard. Wesley Snipes, better action star than Bruce Willis. He would not have taken that machine gun ho ho ho. He would have just killed those motherfuckers with his bare hands. Gotta
Yeah.
say.
True. I do
Yeah,
like.
but then we wouldn't have got the machine gun ho ho ho, and that would have been depressing.
I do like how he did.
He would have said, "Have your machine gun back, bitch." Ho ho ho.
I don't need this.
I do
I
like
gave you
how he
extra
did
bullets.
this though when he gets caught in the toilet with the phone
Oh.
and he just throws the phone on the side and starts, "Oh no, don't shoot me!
I don't want to get shot.
I don't
Oh,
want to be hijacked."
there's no way I can fight Orville Buff guy. I'm just a little bitch. Just kidding.
I'm not Lee Burnell. I can't kick. Yes, I can.
But he almost took, I can't say he took a scene from Taken, so Taken took a scene from him. He's describing exactly what is happening. So Sly on the phone.
Oh my
is like,
God, you
"Fuck."
hijacked the plane. It did kind of make me think of that scene in Blazing Saddles, though, where he holds himself hostage. Cleavon,
yes.
Cleavon Little. And he's
Oh
just
my
like,
God.
oh
One more
my
step
God,
and
he's
he'll get
crazy.
it.
One more step, like, because he's like, oh, please don't kill me. I'm
Do what he says. Do what he says. They are so dumb.
And they have like a standoff here where Cutter, Wesley Snipes, has this fucking pro wrestler henchman that he grabbed.
Yeah.
I don't know who this dude is, but he
He's the
looked like a pro
Terminator,
wrestler.
Fucking Jerry Curl.
blue.
Oh my God.
From the back, I was like, is that Fred Ward with a perm? But
He just got off the set of Coming to America with the Soul Glow.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
This guy's got his Soul Glow going.
That's from when Eddie Murphy was supposed to be in this movie. They had this Oglo guy.
Like,
They're
dude,
supposed to be Eric
wouldn't it
LaSalle.
be, yeah, wouldn't it be great if we had a connection? All right,
Oh,
we'll keep
IMDb
the
says
Soul
Eric
Glow.
LaSalle was supposed to be that guy.
And then Rain grabs this random passenger, and he's like, "Oh, do you have a family? Yeah, I have a daughter.
Joker moment.
Oh, that's pretty cool." Blammo kills that fucking dude.
I'll say what because he's like, do you have a daughter? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, and until this moment, your daughter had a father, and then kills the guy.
And then Wesley
Ice
Snipes has a
cold.
flashback to Lisa getting shot because it's the exact same situation, gun to the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Sorry, a little adrenaline. When you use toilets in the airplane, do you get scared that it's going to suck out your butthole?
Yes.
Right?
No,
It'll suck
I
your butthole
can't
out.
poop on an airplane.
I'll
Okay,
poop
I sit
anywhere.
to pee.
I get worried it's going
Yeah,
to
me
suck out
too.
my butthole, and I'm not in there. When the pro wrestler got his face dunked in the blue water, she was making barfy noises, and I was like, "That's the cleanest toilet water anybody's ever had their face shoved in."
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what the blue shit is. Like, it's gross. Don't get me wrong, but this isn't the Big Lebowski's toilet.
It's the least amount of gross as far as head into toilet.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're
No,
gonna
but-
make vomit noises, it should be in the Big Lebowski when he gets his face dunked in that toilet, because you know that motherfucker's
Oh,
never
it
cleaned a
happens
toilet.
also. But also, think of like nervous poops where it's just like,
It gets
And it's
sucked
like-
out
Ew.
so fast.
splashing everywhere.
Under the rim? Yeah. Oh, I had those.
Yes.
Those hangover chaotic dumps. Yeah, I
Yes.
had those. Yeah.
Chaotic
yeah.
Dubs.
Oh, yeah.
What is happening?
Okay, so who's your
It's not
D&D?
Passenger
So
Dookie.
what alignment does your D&D character have? Oh, he's chaotic dump.
So that's all I could think of is just like,
I'm green apple splatters neutral.
green apple splash neutral.
Splatters.
Splatters are worse than splashes.
Are they?
I don't know.
Talk about your twice baked
Well, I
potato.
feel like splatters would be more like on it, and splashes are like Poseidon's kiss.
So Wesley Snipes and Marty get into the food elevator and they go
Marty.
downstairs.
Gotta go downstairs, buddy.
We gotta get to the kitchen. Vincent is down there, and she's like, "Oh no, he's cool. He's just the weird basement guy who makes food."
With the evil face.
He's
Okay, that makes sense.
He's our
That makes
kitchen
sense.
witch.
And he immediately, like, Wesley Snipes tells him to get a knife because he's trying to cut that little barrier thingy that we've seen in other movies.
I think he's
Carnival.
asking
Assuming
her
it's
for
real.
the knife.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then Vincent pulls out a knife.
Yeah.
And they have this. I call it a knife fight in my notes, but Wesley Snipes doesn't have a knife.
It's a fight
But
with
you know
one
what?
knife.
He doesn't need a knife for it to be a knife fight.
No.
Is it
Bring
a
it.
Bowie or Bowie knife?
It's neither of those.
No, but
we
like
were
the
having a
same.
discussion earlier about
And
it,
I
and I
say
kept
it's
saying,
Bowie
I said
Arizona.
Bowie knife, and then I was
It's-
like, that's a singer.
Bowie.
Yeah, it's Bowie.
Yeah, it's Bowie.
Oh, but I was
thinking-
like, it's not a David Bowie knife,
You
right?
talking about that big Arkansas toothpick?
the Rambo
I got
knife.
one of
Yeah.
them.
I say Bowie.
It's French.
I say Bow Wow.
So here's
I
the
have a smaller one too. It's my little Bow Wow.
You're an idiot if you bring a knife to a Wesley Snipes fight.
You know what though? To that point, don't bring a gun either.
Either,
You
exactly.
bring
You
running
need,
shoes.
You need to bring a Wesley Snipes.
Right?
If you don't have that, put on running shoes or get car keys.
'Cause he doesn't shoot guns. That very much much at all in this movie.
No.
Very
There's
little,
guns,
very
There's
little.
a few people.
Sure, but like compared to like Die Hard or
The next
Arnold
time they
or
meet, he
You
has a
shouldn't
gun.
be shooting guns on a plane, which we find out at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we knew it, but we
But also
see it in
the
action.
also the classic's point, he just hasn't needed one. When he
Yeah.
when he beats somebody up or kills them, he's like, I don't need to pick that up.
bare fucking hands.
He doesn't need to level up. He's there.
He's
level.
max level, yeah.
He's leveled,
So
baby.
they get into the cargo area, which is apparently where they keep the fuel controls? Question mark.
And-
And Wesley Snipes like hot wires these fuel
It's
controls.
he
to
takes
double
one
fuel.
wire.
cable, one wire, and the fuel dumps. Like that's
Just
I-
from one engine, and that's
that
all that was
can't be.
necessary.
You have a
That
bad
can't
system,
be.
I think.
That seems not good.
Well, no, he was messing with a few because some of them shocked him, and she's like trying to stop him, and he's like pulling me. He's like, knock it off, and he's pulling him out, and then she's like, so you know what you're doing? He's like, yeah, there's just one left, bitch.
He pulls one.
Yeah, I
down.
know what I'm doing. I pulled all the rest and nothing happened.
I know what I'm doing now.
There's got to be like a Fallout puzzle or like some kind of like
Right?
thing
This
where
is
you have to do
not
a
National
computer.
Treasure.
There's got to be a national. Okay, I feel like there are
No.
national treasure puzzles on the plane to keep the fucking fuel from dumping out in midair.
Yeah, you need at least like he doesn't even have a digipick or nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, you shouldn't
Nothing.
be able to like dump the fuel the same way that that little kid from Hunt for the Wilder People started that car.
Which, thank you for that, Rocco.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Fucking loved
Great
it.
movie. Great movie.
Baker.
Ricky Baker.
So the plane lands.
So yeah, and he does call Marty Lisa. So then he has to
Very subtle
tell
too.
all about
Again,
yeah.
the Wesley Snipes.
He's like,
acting
God
skills.
damn it, Lisa, leave me alone
And he
right
doesn't
now.
even notice. It's not that bullshit you would usually see where he'd say it and then like stop and be like,
Right.
No, he doesn't even
And she
notice.
lets
Or
it
if he
go?
does notice, he doesn't say anything.
She brings it up later. The
She
man,
brings it up
man knows what he's
afterward.
doing. The man's got
We should
skills.
probably talk about the conversation between the Joker. I'm sorry, Payne and the Tower, because he's like, "Hey, we got to land," and the guy's like, "We can't handle a plane that size. We get Cessnas,
yeah,
yada
'cause
yada."
they're going to like a little private airfield.
and he's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, it's dangerous for you. We are fucking landing. So call whoever you need to call, but this is happening."
Yeah.
Yep.
This is a cherry ass landing. I brought
All right, call
I love because he's like, it's an
hospitals.
emergency landing. He's like, reroute somewhere else. I'm like, that's not how emergency landings work.
You picked the wrong spot.
Ask
We didn't
fucking
pick
Denzel
it.
Washington. You got to land in that river, man.
You land upside down.
Is that what happened?
I didn't see that movie.
I
I,
did-
don't know.
I
literally
know
have
the
no
I know the
idea.
real life story. Something about guy landing in Hudson River. Question
Upside
mark.
down, right?
Maybe.
No, I
Did
don't
you
know.
No, I
say
think he
Denzel
went upside down. But I don't
Washington?
think he
Wasn't that
landed
Tom
upside down.
No, that was
you're thinking
Denzel
of Sully.
Washington.
Yeah.
you're thinking. Was that Sully or Flight? No, Flight was the one where Denzel
Flight's
Washington is
Denzel,
drunk. Sully is the one
Sully
that's
is
the Hudson
Tom
River
Hanks.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. See,
Like
fuck you.
it's a guy who can act pretty
Neither
well.
of them are
landing a
9/11.
plane.
That
All
reminds
right.
me. I had another note. I completely forgot to mention this. Bruce Payne, because I saw in this movie Never Again, but I looked up his IMDb. He is in a 1988 movie called For Queen and Country with Denzel, who plays a British soldier. Is Denzel doing a British accent in this movie?
My God, I hope
Is
so.
Bruce Payne the
fucking-
bad guy? We need to see this movie.
Okay.
We need to watch
That's
this movie.
the next movie.
For
Yeah,
Queen and
I
Country,
looked at his
1988.
IMDb and I didn't see anything else.
Oh my God.
I was like, who the
I-
fuck is
I
Bruce
gotta
Payne?
see it.
Yeah.
Go on.
Anyway,
I like how
And
he kind
continue.
of modeled his look though from Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill a little
A
bit.
little bit. A little bit.
She a great big old fat passenger.
that you need 2 tickets. So the plane starts going down, and it made me kind of laugh to myself. These 2 FBI bodies that are still seatbelted in, by the way, are just rocking forward instead when the
Flopping.
plane is going down. It's kind of hilarious.
Great dead acting.
Yeah.
And the squib work was pretty awesome on
Oh,
that
I miss
also.
Squib
And
so bad. I miss Squib.
Yeah, that's to the point you're making earlier, man. Like, it's okay to back in my day when we talk about action movies because no matter what, they all hold up. Whatever action movie came out this year that you like in 5 years is not going to look that
Well,
good.
like the Silent Night we talked about on our YouTube episode
Oh, yeah.
of Thanksgiving.
The
It
trailer
looks
looked
cool,
bad.
but it's all CG blood. And it's like, come on, John Woo.
Yeah,
You're
that's not
John
going to
Woo
age.
of
That's
all
not
the
going to age
people.
well at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the shots of the plane
do
flying
they just
in
not
midair.
care about things aging well anymore?
They
They just want it
care
to
about
look good
making
right
money
now?
this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
why
Because with
Terrible
with
fucking
Netflix and
work
Hulu and all
ethic.
these guys buying so many, there's so many like more studios buying movies that are actually coming out that people could see if you do hard enough search, because Netflix and Hulu tend to bury anything new.
It's true.
It doesn't matter because
We're less
3 weeks
selective
later,
now.
3 weeks later, no one's watching it.
Yeah.
It came out, you didn't watch it, it failed. You're never going to see it again. We're burying it. Goodbye.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're not going to bring your 6-year-old baby to a movie like that in the theaters anymore.
But you should.
you should.
It's not the 90s anymore.
And this is where we get That line you were talking about. Wesley
my
Snipes
fucking
is
God.
talking to Rain on the phone.
This is my movie. This is my select. I got to do it. I'm sorry. Can I do this?
Go for it.
So Wesley Snipes talking to Bruce Wayne, Charles Payne, not insane, and he says, "Do you play roulette?" And the man says, "Oh, bruv, I didn't do that shit in a motherfucking in a cheerio."
Exactly.
Wesley, exactly. What
Now
he
get
said.
ready for some
Exactly.
good camera work with this line.
Yes,
Wes-
and I
the
called this line.
Camera full pulls into Wesley Snipes' face, and he says, "Let me give you some advice. Always bet on black."
Boom.
Mike drop.
Motherfucker.
Great line. My
Amazing
only
line.
issue with this being a Die Hard on a blank is that this is still the end of like the first act.
Yeah.
You drop that line in the third act.
No, he's that confident though.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
Wesley
I
would
love
do
it. I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Like bet
But
on black, 'cause
I
I'm
just
gonna
felt like
win.
I was like, did he just say don't bet on black? I'm looking. I'm like, there's an hour left in this movie, man.
Yeah.
Like, we're 24 minutes in. Hopefully, it's not 24 minutes because we've been talking for like an hour.
Also, that British guy that wrote the first draft of it, he was asked in an interview, so you didn't write that classic line, "Always bet on black," and he said, "No, because there were no black people in the movie when I wrote it."
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Another reason we're happy Snipes is in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because as soon as like when he asked, "Do you ever play roulette?" and I was like, "Oh, I always bet on black."
Yeah.
Yeah, she said it before.
Oh
he did
yeah,
it.
but I got to talk about that camera. It was like zooming in, just like you play roulette, zoom. Well, I got some advice, zoom. Always bet on black, hard zoom. Like it was so fucking
was
good.
great.
It was
dude.
like on his eyeball.
showing
Did he
the
use
pores.
the right pantomime zoom? It wasn't a pan.
I mean, it
or
would be
a-
more of a push.
Oh. See?
No, they were holding. I asked them, and I said, "Is it a push or a zoom?" And they said, "Tell Derek, fuck you, it's a zoom."
Oh, okay. Because a push is when you move the whole camera. A zoom is when you zoom the lens. Anyway,
Intensify.
they're mad at me because they would always say pan for everything, and I was like, that's a tilt, that's a jib. That's
That was the one. His jib. I was like, he's
Is
making
it
shit up
Foley or
now.
Foley?
It's Foley.
It is Foley.
They don't
Now.
use that shit on porn, so I don't know. I don't even notice.
You're watching the wrong porn. You got to go
Yeah.
back to the 70s, man.
Hey, no porn shaming.
There's some,
Not at
there's
all.
some jib work going on.
You got to stop watching this stuff that's just done on a cell phone talking about stepmoms.
Those are my favorite.
Okay.
I like craft artisanal porn. That's what I do. I'm an OnlyFans guy. Craft artisanal porn.
I like
is my shit.
boutique porn.
Well, you got to be careful with artisanal porn because then most of the girls have hairy armpits.
That's fine. What the fuck is the problem with that? I don't give a shit. It's all good, man. Hey,
Ew.
yeah. The movie takes a layover.
It does.
Yeah. We can just like gloss over, yeah.
Yeah, well, I do want to mention the plane almost crashes into a carnival ride, which is kind of hilarious.
That is fan. That's the biggest. That's
Oh,
the
and-
biggest Cessna I've ever seen.
And
I
I-
ever done seen.
We see a lot of Confederate flag at this carnival.
yeah,
So
this
many-
It
is
is
a
Louisiana.
very.
It's Louisiana 92.
This is a very anti-black.
It
Community.
goes into that's the best part. I mean, that's not good, but it's like the most interesting part of the second act is these cops when they arrest Wesley Snipes after he like kind of falls off the plane. He's trying to get off the plane, but Forget
Forget kicks him in the
kicks this
face.
motherfucker off the plane.
Yeah.
Well, he kicks him in the ass,
Get
I
off
think,
my
and then he ends up
plane.
kicking him in the face because he's hanging on. Because
Right.
you can't take Wesley Snipes down with one kick.
No.
Jesus Christ.
No,
He
it
did
took
have
like
an Uzi.
5.
He brought a gun to a Wesley Snipes fight.
Yeah.
This is the best you can do, folks.
Yeah.
Right. And he still fucking lost.
And when they arrest him, he's trying to tell them like, "No, I work for the airline, whatever." And they're like,
You're black.
I'm
You
not,
do not.
I'm not sure about that, black
and
boy.
I'm the governor of Louisiana.
They
Yeah.
do say boy a lot.
They say boy a lot.
They arrest him. They bring him up to the sheriff, and they
They
say
do
he-
not handcuff him though.
Right, but they say he attacked us. Wesley Snipes falls off the plane
Yep.
onto the tarmac. They pull guns out on him. They bring him to the car. They said he attacked us out there.
Shit,
If I attacked you, this motherfucker clapping back, dude.
I'll let you do it. You can give it.
No,
justice,
no,
baby
go
girl.
ahead, please. I take them
All
all.
right. If I attacked you, I wouldn't be the one standing here bleeding.
Absolutely. Oh,
Suck it,
fuck.
country
I'm sorry.
boy.
How's it go?
Because I do.
And the sheriff, like Rain, is trying to negotiate, and the sheriff tells Rain he can't. Like he doesn't have the power to negotiate, and Rain's basically like, "Cool, well look at the door of the plane right now," and he just dumps all the bodies out, and he's like, "I killed 5 people already. You want to see more?" And the sheriff's like, "All right, we can get you some fuel."
It's on its way. It's on its way.
You heard. I saved 100 people.
Rain does something great where he's like, one of my men escaped, and he's
Yeah.
a black
A
dude,
black
John
man, yeah.
Cutter. I don't know if he names him, but basically they didn't need a reason to hold the black guy, but now they have one.
Yeah.
But it's actually just fucking smart from this guy. I mean, genius or insanity, we don't know.
Yes.
Another great line when the sheriff tells him, like, "Look, Wesley Snipes, if you were in my position, what would you think? What
Oh
would you
my
do?"
God.
And Wesley Snipes says, kill myself.
Yep.
So this movie.
He's got some beautiful one-liners in
This
this.
movie isn't
fucking-
RoboCop, but it's as close to like an ACAB movie, like a mainstream action movies you can get. Because those
Yes.
cops are fucking scumbags.
Yeah.
And this movie calls them out. All cops are bastards. Fuck the police.
Absolutely. I want to know about this world famous coffee or special cup of coffee.
You know it's got bourbon in it.
He asked that lady, he's like, why don't you make me one of those special cups of coffee, a little Bufferin?
Buffering.
Buffering.
What the
It's
fuck is
ibuprofen. Buffering.
Yeah, it's.
I didn't know they had
it's
an old computer just buffering in the background.
It's
My porn is buffering. Can you make me some coffee?
It's like Tylenol. It's
He's gonna take 20 minutes to download this one fake picture of Alicia Silverstone nude with a fake head on. Which, by the way, I downloaded on my computer in the
ask
90s.
him what he
Attaboy.
downloaded and
You
printed.
downloaded it.
I don't know, not a lot of stuff. I'm sorry, I can't think because what I was thinking of when you said that was or a Gillian Anderson,
Right.
nude
Oh,
fake.
the Gillian
Oh,
because
Anderson.
that
yeah.
was the '90s.
Yeah.
Go
And that's
to,
that was
right?
an early one. Now they're common. I mean, I got ones of what's the judge lady?
Judy?
Judge
Judy?
Judy. I got ones of her.
The Yeeks?
Very clearly a fake, but we
Yeah,
didn't know
oh.
any better.
It doesn't
Judge
matter.
Judy's face on a 19-year-old body.
Judge Judy got booty.
I've seen that picture. Those Yeeks are out of control. It is absolutely Photoshop.
I'd hammer that gavel.
It doesn't matter. I also have the picture saved.
I don't.
So there's a snazzy jazz track playing while Wesley Snipes is getting away from these cops. He fights his way out. Basically, he beats the shit out of them because he's awesome.
Because why wouldn't you handcuff him? Not to
Exactly.
say
That's what she
still
said. She's like, "Where's the handcuffs?" I was like,
He's still
They
gonna
got
beat
nothing
you
for that
up,
shit.
but it's gonna be a little bit slower.
Yeah. And he's still going to get out of those cuffs.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and Charles Rain is releasing 100 prisoners, but it's mostly because it's a cover. While the prisoners
Snipes
are
is
coming
calling-
out, him
Snipes
and
is
his
calling
people
it.
sneak out the
I
back.
definitely thought that they were going to sneak out with the crowd.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be
Like
like,
Inside
because
Man,
nobody knows
but
what they look like.
definitely,
Yeah, oh, Inside Man, great.
Great movie.
but they went the other way.
Yeah, they went out they went out through
The
the
cops
landing
are
gear
only
and went out
watching
the other
one
way.
side of the plane.
Well, because the FBI is not there yet, so no one knows what the fuck. He
oh,
looks
that's true.
like.
You just got these fucking good old boys.
Yeah.
They walk into the carnival, like a really cool looking carnival, which again,
Although, if Charles Rain got off this plane, God, the rhyming.
Yes.
If Charles Rain got off this plane,
Again.
those cops would be watching and be like, "That's probably the bad guy."
Yeah.
The rain and the plane stays mainly in the same.
he's
like-
wearing a suit. He's wearing like a suit jacket. Why isn't he wearing like a fucking orange jumpsuit?
He
Like,
looks like he's gonna be
Charles
wearing
Rain's
his skin suit
planes-
later. He's
Charles
not wearing
Rain's
orange.
planes explode mainly in Spain. There we go.
There we go.
She was doing the
insane.
rhyme. So
He's not wearing orange suit in my mind because they were trying to keep it on the low.
Yes, they
You know,
didn't
this
want
is the
people to
this
know.
is the FBI instead of like Department of Corrections or anything.
Fair enough.
They had a jacket over his handcuffs earlier.
True.
So maybe it's just to not disturb the passengers.
Right,
Yeah.
so what you're saying is it's still a 5-star movie. There are no plot holes. I got you. Okay, go on.
I went back
So,
and watched
yes.
Passenger 57 for plot holes, and like I suspected, none.
So they escape into the Budweiser County Fair.
Budweiser and
So
Tabasco.
much fucking-
Yes.
There's
much
like
fucking
3
product
Tabasco
placement.
signs, but there's like Budweiser truck,
Inflatable.
Bud Dry,
inflatable,
the giant Bud Dry
Budweiser
inflatable.
signs. So much Budweiser.
Oh my God.
I mean,
it
what
was-
do we see at fucking carnivals?
It was
Bud.
not making
Well,
me
yeah.
thirsty at all.
No.
No.
It was like, oh, giant Bud Dry. Nope.
I would rather chug that hot sauce.
It's a good thing I got a camel pack with me.
Do you want a Budweiser? What's that Tapatio doing?
What kind of water do you have?
Yeah, I'll take you a Budweiser. Can you put the Tapatio in it?
I will eat 3 deep fried Twinkies and I'll get hydrated off of that.
Fuck
Thank
yeah. Suck the creme.
I fucking love the Pima County Fair. Oh my God, it's so fun. This reminded me of the Pima County Fair.
Yeah.
Let's go in April.
So Wesley Snipes is following Charles Rain through this fair, and at some point a clown gets shoved, which made me laugh.
No, this little like nerdy guy's following him, and we saw him
Yeah,
on
and
the
the
plane
other-
earlier
At first,
reading a
I
magazine.
thought it was Sean Hayes. Just from a
okay.
quick profile, I was
I
like,
thought it was Nicholas Holt who was a time traveler. This man looks like Nicholas Holt. Exactly like Nicholas Holt.
I mean,
Buddy!
maybe he just ages really well.
there is a scene.
stop Nicholas Holt, buddy.
Nick, you have to go back in time to this passenger 57.
There is a scene, and it probably isn't him because I don't know how old he is. There's a guy by a barbecue pit, like working at the pit or whatever, and he's in a red apron. And he kind of looks like one of Key and Peele, one of Jordan Peele's actors, the guy from Nope and Get Out and all of that. What is his
Daniel
name?
fuck are you talking about? Daniel
It
Kaluuya?
looked, it,
Kaluuya, thank
it
you.
looked
Yeah.
like a teenage him.
Oh, really?
Sitting like leaning
Daniel
on the
Kaluuya's
thing.
like 27.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't him.
Yeah.
How old is he right now? There's
I
no
don't
way
know.
he's
He's
27.
He's probably in his 30s right now.
Okay,
he
that
might
would
be- he might
that
be
would
40,
make
but-
I would take 37, which would still make him too young to be a teenager in this movie
In
92.
1992, yeah.
Yeah,
Since,
but
since 37 would make him younger than me.
it looked just fucking like
Daniel
him.
Kaluuya is 34. That man is a baby.
Okay, he
Yeah.
is a babby.
So he was
Maybe it was
an
wishful
embryo.
thinking.
But she pointed that she was like, it looks just like him. I was like, I missed it. I was writing notes.
Yeah, I definitely missed it.
So Glasses dude is chasing Wesley Snipes and he jumps onto
Which he was
this
told
Ferris
to
wheel.
not shoot. He's like, he's mine. Back off.
Yeah, but Glasses.
Oh,
guy
so
doesn't
that's why
listen.
Rain was like, he misses, and the Joker's really pissed at him. And I
Pissed?
thought it was because of the earlier line, the guy that got kidnapped by
yeah.
Snipes
Love
first, he
that.
shoots him. He's like, I hate incompetence.
Yeah.
I thought this was like, God damn it, you fucking missed. He was pissed he took a shot at all.
Yes.
Oh.
And he hates incompetence.
But
Because
Wesley
he wants to
Snipes-
like drill his hands and
Oh, but
cut
he
his
gets
skin off.
He gets what he deserves.
He climbs the fucking
yeah.
Ferris
He
wheel.
jumps on a moving Ferris wheel. This
Yeah.
isn't like a normal Ferris wheel. Like it has like
His own
two
stunt, by the way.
independently
Yes.
rotating things. I don't know, but yeah, you can definitely see it's Wesley Snipes. It's fucking terrifying.
He kicks the dude off, and you see it. Stunt guy fly off of the fucking Ferris wheel to the ground. Amazing.
And they don't
Yeah.
show the splat, which I was a little disappointed in, but
Sure.
you hear it.
Yeah,
You know what?
hear a
I'd rather
hard
You hear a
thump.
thump.
I'd rather what they did than give me a bad version of it.
Yes.
Like
Agreed.
we
That's
we
fair.
screen version.
use
yeah.
your
I just didn't-
imagination is
Fuck
what
that
I'd rather
This
do
guy
than see
was
a
such
shit.
a fucking like he was barely in the movie, but I hated him, and I really wanted to see him hit the ground.
Fair enough, dude.
With his
But we
greasy
get it
fucking
later.
hair.
We get it later with Vincent when he gets shot and
Yeah,
falls
he
down the
does.
stairs.
Which
so
he
it's
did
fine.
his own stunt on that too.
That's the death of the movie for me.
He did his own stunt on that staircase, and that was awesome.
Yeah, that's the death of the movie.
So for the second time in this movie, the villain gets arrested.
And there is a straight up Dark Knight interrogation scene with Wesley Snipes and fucking
Yes,
Bruce
there's-
Wayne,
Well,
whatever
and
the
it's
fuck his
great
name is.
because
They need to
the
make it
head
his own
FBI
idea.
guy, Robert Hooks, can't think
Yeah.
of the character's name, but the head FBI guy is like, I'm gonna go let him know because Rain is basically like, you put me back on this plane, I'll let the prisoners go.
Because I still have Forget on the plane.
And if I don't get back on this plane, my people are gonna kill all the prisoners. So they tell him they're gonna let him back on the plane, but Robert Hooks is like, I'll go let him know. And Wesley Snipes is like, no, let me tell him because he's trying to get information out of him and also trying to kind of rile him up a little
Yeah.
bit. So he goes in and does this scene where it's like, it seems like Wesley Snipes is not behaving the way he should be, but he's doing exactly what he wants.
Exactly.
It's the Scarlett Johansson from the first Avengers.
Exactly.
I do
Where I
have
think she learned
something that we did like breeze over because it was in the layover. When the FBI does show up and is talking to the chief of the sheriff's department,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like, "You mean you did that to Cutter?
You mean John Cutter? He knows him or
What
of
is
him.
how does he say it? I'm not going to do it justice. How does he say it?
He says something. He's like, "Tell your men not to hurt him, because if he does, I will see to your early retirement or
yeah,
something
I will
like
come
that."
after you.
Yeah, like he knows of it. It turns out he doesn't know who John Cutter is,
But he knows the
of
name.
him. Yeah, like
And
he's
so
a-
I thought
baddest
that was
motherfucker.
deserved credence right there.
Yeah,
That
because
he
all of a
was,
sudden,
"God damn it, I
Sheriff
fucked up."
Briggs or whatever his name is like, oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
Briggs.
Biggs.
Briggs.
Was it
yeah.
Briggs?
Yeah.
It might be
Ernie
either. It
Lyle.
doesn't,
It was-
It
There's
doesn't
an
matter.
R.
He's a redneck.
I was hoping it was Riggs and related to Martin Riggs and Lethal Weapon, just as racist.
And I gotta say, also the
Different
FBI
people,
guy, the FBI black guy, talking down to a white racist sheriff.
Love it.
Fucking
Oh,
love
fuck
it. Fucking
yeah,
love it. This
dude.
movie is racially conscious. I fucking love it.
Yes.
Like I'm FBI. I'll shut you fucking down.
I gotta say, I remembered the Charles Rain being way more racist way back when.
So
not even
did
when
I.
I was a kid. Because I've seen this movie, 5 or 6 times or whatever. I watched it last night. I was like, I thought he was saying lots of racist shit.
Do you know what
He's
happened
not.
there? More racist things have happened in your life now to you.
Fair enough.
When you were younger, you're like, that's racist. Now you're like, well, I mean, no one got shot.
They
So
didn't shoot him for selling cigarettes. so.
he didn't shoot him, reload, and shoot him again. So
He does have this one. Charles Rain does have this one moment in the interrogation scene, the Dark Knight interrogation scene, where he says, rough in it. Oh, you know what it's like getting taken advantage of, brother."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
he
very
does
much
call
like
him-
I think that's
Yeah,
why.
you know
that's
what? You
when he
can't
thought it
call
was-
someone brother if you pronounce the TH as a V.
right. Don't do that shit.
Brava. Oi, brav.
So Tom Sizemore finally comes back to the movie. He's been
Thank
on a,
God.
he's been on a
Missed you, buddy.
terrifying airplane.
Oh God, the
helicopter
helicopter.
ride.
He's like, I can't tell him I stepped out, can I?
Real helicopter, no CG,
Yes.
no green screen.
Loved
That's
it.
just not even
I
acting.
think he was
scared.
really
Yeah, he was
terrified.
scared.
He was like, oh shit.
Can we hurry up and slow down?
We can go higher. It'll smooth
might
it
be
out a
Tom
bit.
Sizemore will go
No,
higher. No,
no.
Tom Sizemore will always go higher.
He's like, I'm high enough, dude. As you folks know, we like to have a beer or three while we podcast, and sometimes that leads to a not so pleasant morning after, unless we remember to hydrate, people. That's where Liquid IV comes in. Liquid IV is the #1 powdered hydration brand in America, and it's now available in sugar-free with a proprietary zero sugar solution that has no artificial sweeteners. I love using Liquid IV because it comes in convenient little packets you can take with you, makes me feel rejuvenated and hydrated, and best of all, it actually tastes good. Just one packet of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than just water alone, thanks to the 8 vitamins and nutrients it has, and it has 3 times the electrolytes of those other sports drinks. We love Liquid IV so much that we're offering you, our loyal listeners, a steal of a deal. Get 20% off when you grab your Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier, sugar-free, or any other variant at liquidiv.com and use the code WORSTPEOPLE at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code WORSTPEOPLE at liquidiv.com. So they have to put Rain back on the plane.
Oh, what a shame.
He says, I think it's Snipes who says to Rain, he's like, if anybody else gets hurt on that plane, it's going to take more than a jail cell to stop me from ripping your nuts off, which is good. It's a good line.
Awesome threat.
Anytime you're threatening to rip someone's nuts off, I'm in.
Yeah.
And
my
right
nuts.
before he gets on, though, Rain calls the plane, and I had to write this line down because it was gross.
Give me some Raising
Flight
Cane's.
163, this is Daddy.
Yes. Is it weird that I didn't really hear his accent that much?
I mean,
Yes.
it's not as
Like, it was-
it's not as cognizant as what we're doing.
I know. I heard Hurley's
It's a bit more
more than I heard
sophisticated.
Payne's.
What?
No,
he
he's a
sounds-
villainous accent.
He just sounded like he was trying to be smart. She actually sounded natural.
No, he's one of the most British motherfuckers that
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just didn't hear it as much. Okay, sorry.
Okay,
I
So
just
while
had to
they're
throw that.
that's
while
weird,
they're
but okay.
taking Rain onto the plane, there's snipers that are supposed to
Again.
take him out again. There's snipers that are supposed to take him out, but it turns out Vincent took out the sniper, and he takes out both these agents.
He killed the sniper, kills these dudes, and then Rain gets back on the plane again to the stairs. Like, and he takes it up like Ryanair that I took to go from fucking London to Dublin, where you had to walk up the steps.
I don't think I've ever been on stairs.
I did that
I've
shit.
always
I
been
was
on a
like,
causeway.
I'm like the president. I had to walk up the stairs to get to a very,
it just made
very
me think
cheap
of Arrested
plane.
Development. You're gonna get hop-ons.
Which, by the way, they have a stair car that gets knocked over and explodes real
Yeah,
fucking
that's
good.
my
yeah.
next note is this stair car is filled with TNT.
Oh my god.
Because this thing falls over and explodes more than anything should ever explode.
Maybe
This
it
is
was
worse
like
than that
a-
wing in the first episode of Lost when it fell off.
Maybe it was like one of the SWAT members had a bunch of munitions on him.
Real night explosion, man.
It's a big bada boom. And then Vincent gets shot by Wesley Snipes.
One of
and
his
this is
very
where
few
he-
bullet shootings.
yeah, and this is where he tumbles down these stairs.
Dude, this is
Oh
a
my
definite
God.
movie I said earlier because he himself as the actor just tumbles down the stairs, lands so fucking hard and awkward, and holds it,
And
just
like-
stays
Fucking
dead,
back
doesn't
hurt
move.
watching that.
Absolutely.
And
As
these are
somebody over
those-
40, I was like, oh my god, get him some Ben Gay.
These are those metal no slip grip fucking.
Now, these are
has the
roof stairs.
tread
These are not fun stairs.
Hold on, can I clarify because I got to look from a younger person. Ben Gay is like what they used to rub on your muscles when you're an old person. Now there's probably other things like,
It's like
Tiger
Tiger
Balm.
Balm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta-
But us old
It's like a
folks use-
mentholated.
I know what Ben Gay is. I wasn't sure if he said 40 or 30.
Oh,
Oh no, I haven't said 30 in 11 years.
And this is Wesley Snipes does try to get a gun here. He gets the gun from Sheriff Biggs or whatever while they're chasing down this plane, and he's like, "I want you to return this gun in mint condition. It's my
my
wife's."
Where is your gun, sir? Why, do you just bring your wife's gun to work every day?
I love that he hands him the gun. He's like, "This is my wife's gun, and it's not that Morgan Fairchild gun from Phantom of the Mall. This is a
No.
fucking pistol. This will."
This is Rick. This is a Rick Grimes Python revolver, dude. This
Joker gun from the
beautiful.
first Batman '89. Holy shit! He's the Joker now. It's like he thinks he's the Joker. I'm the Joker now.
This is the gun's origin story.
oh,
That's right.
because as he's He's doing his own stunt, jumping from the car to the
Oh my God,
tire
amazing
of the
stunt.
plane.
Oh, man.
Like this is beautiful.
I do want to. Go ahead.
As he's going, as the foot is going up into
The foot, the wheel.
whatever.
It's a foot for a plane,
It's a-
buddy.
yeah.
Dude,
Okay,
I would
yeah.
be terrified if planes
The
had
gun-
like little feet things on them, and they're like going down the fucking runway. And there's like plop, 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 plop.
If George Lucas wrote this, they'd all have feet instead of wheels.
Well, these
and
aren't those
Quentin Tarantino
seaplanes.
wrote this. So as he's climbing up, the gun falls out.
Yeah,
The water planes have feet. They don't have wheels. They have little legs.
yeah,
Come
they're
on.
little
seaplanes. Yeah.
I just wanted to go back for a quick
Both for
sea
feet.
feet. I just wanted to go back real quick when they're taking the plane off before Snipes has to catch up.
Yeah.
How come none of these SWAT with automatic weapons are shooting the engines or the tires? Like that's
because then the
They-
movie
they're
would be over.
Also,
and
they
we've got
will
another
murder
24
everybody.
minutes
That's
left.
it.
They'll murder
No.
everybody in the plane.
It's an
they're
airplane.
gonna murder everybody anyway.
You need like a 50 cal for that shit. That's not like just bigger
Bullshit. You
machine
take
guns.
one
I
of
don't-
these fucking MP5s and just unload into the engine, you're gonna mess something up.
Okay, well, let's try it this weekend and we'll figure it
All
out.
right.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right, we'll see you guys down at the airport.
Fuck, price of ammunition these days?
We'll see you guys in the newspaper. So then Charles Rain is on the plane. God damn it.
Again.
And he starts
He's a
trying-
villain.
He's following
Yes, he has
Marty
mine.
around, licking his fingers.
Oh God,
Yeah.
So fuck-
this
that's
was a
when he-
little unnecessary.
That's
for
when
me.
he gets sexually intimidating for no reason out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude,
Do you know why?
I feel like
Do
at
you know
this
why?
point,
because he's British.
Because none of us hate him yet.
that's what I was going to say. I
right.
feel like at this point they haven't made him evil enough.
Fair.
They're like, you know what?
So-
People are identifying with this guy a lot.
He's cool as fuck.
Let's make him a teensy bit rapey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's get just rapey enough to make him okay to murder.
He asks her for a drink. She says what? And he says anything wet.
Anything wet.
And she cringes, as you should when that line said to you.
And then he tries to finger bang her with the gun, which
He
is pretty
says,
gross.
"You and Cutter were down there in that tight little place. Let me ask you, did he get in your tight little place, or bruv, in it?"
And then she's like, we were only down there for about 7 minutes. You don't know Cutter.
yeah.
A quickie is a normal person's longing. All
And
right?
just to solidify how much we're not supposed to like this guy, she says, like, I'll die before I sleep with you. He's like, no. I'll kill you during.
yeah.
Wow.
Pretty gross.
That's a whole form of necrophilia I haven't even heard of.
I think they brought that British guy back to write this part.
Probably.
The Tammy and the T-Rex guy came back to write that.
They're
scene.
like, we need like just a gross festering wound of a line.
I do want to say in the background as he's doing this to Marty, Hurley is like exasperated, throws her arms up and
Yeah,
storms
she gets
away.
mad because she wants to fuck him.
Well, that's the line
Well,
that
they
got
probably been
her.
fucking.
or because
Yeah.
he's flirting with a black lady. Let's be honest.
I thought it was just any lady, but it could be.
It was doubly worse. Doubly worse.
And then we have Snipes versus Forget here on the plane.
For Jade about it, dude. He's done.
He takes him out, and then he fucking socks Elizabeth Hurley in the face, which is pretty hilarious because she shows up later and her lip is fucking swollen.
They did the makeup work. They made that thing.
Oh, but this is so he pops up in the fucking cockpit. Pat's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "John Cutter." Like just
He's like, I'm one of the good guys. Don't worry.
yeah, one of the good guys.
Okay.
Yeah, they're,
Hi.
the one guy
Turn
is like,
this
"You need
bitch
any
around."
help?" The co-pilot or the navigator is like, "You need any help?" He's like, "Nah, I think I got it."
Yeah, yeah. When he hits her, though, he's like, oh, "What a waste."
Yeah.
Do
he
you need
does.
any help? Do you have a Snipes with you? I don't. Then I'm good.
Yeah.
Can I get another Snipes?
Got an extra snipes in your backpack?
Can we double? What is it? Double team? Is it
Oh,
double team?
double impact?
Double impact. Can we
Double
impact
team.
this?
Also, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yes, but that's
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. Yeah,
Not
So-
twins.
neither one of them is wearing silk underwears.
Oh, I guarantee you, Rodman wears silk underwear.
He doesn't wear underwear.
doesn't
At
wear
some
underwear.
point
Yeah,
in that
yeah,
movie,
yeah.
he's wearing silk underwear.
in the movie. It's like it's a prop. You have to
it's
wear
his
the prop.
naughty little secret. He doesn't tell the fucking crowd.
So Rain opens like the food elevator, and Forget's dead body drops out of it, and that kicks off the Snipes versus Rain fight,
Yeah.
which is definitely like there may or may not have been stuntmen throughout this movie, but this scene is 100%. It's Bruce Payne and Wesley Snipes fighting each other.
In this corner, we've got a very competent fighter, a strong black man. And the other corner, we've got a British pasty guy who's kind of a genius, allegedly.
And I guess they both really wanted to do their own stunts, and the producers said
Good
no.
on them.
and the director was like, yeah, they're gonna do it. So eventually they agreed to
Yeah.
it. So they both did this fight. This is 100%
It's a
both
great
This is
fight.
beautiful.
We're
There's-
climbing over chairs.
Yes,
We're going in between
around
aisles.
people.
Snipes has this way of this isn't the only movie he does it in, but he does these very fast strikes that just stop and he holds it right there. So you see all the motion. It's not like it's a murky fight.
No,
It's
and
not
I
Jason
fucking
Bourne.
love
It's not
that.
Jason Bourne. It is. I see every strike. I see every slap in defense, and I like it.
And the
And I
best
was
part
like-
is that in Demolition Man, he was asked to slow down because he was too fast for the cameras. When he
So
punched
and that's
kicked-
what he's doing here.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
he
right now
did.
he's just like it's not even close to the level of Wesley Snipes ass kicking that he can get to.
I was
Which is-
waiting.
That's not his final form.
I don't know. Yeah.
I was waiting. I was like, why is nobody grabbing the oxygen bags?
Yeah, and Charles Rain does grab one and start trying to choke Wesley Snipes out. And then the window this little tiny window gets shot out, which I don't even know why this window's here, but it's there.
Who's that window for?
It's a little peepers.
It's a little peeper.
So you
I
can
guess
see the goblin on the
It's
the
by
thing.
every seat.
there's
a
something on
goblin.
the wing.
Something.
It's a peepers. Like
Oh,
every
it's Wesley
seat has
Snipes.
one.
There's a Snipes on the wing. And the door ends up getting sucked out because of the pressure's
Cool
all fucked
effect.
up.
Yeah,
is
it was.
cool. The only gripe I had with this sequence was there are things getting pulled towards the door, but it doesn't seem like the people are affected. Like nobody's hair is moving. Like it's like there's no like
Gotcha.
suction going on.
I
Only
meant-
around the door,
I meant
not throughout the
specifically
cabin.
the door getting like
Yeah.
sucked off.
and then like the door gets
The
sucked
dead
off.
FBI guys from the beginning were like flopping around more than they are now.
Yeah. These people don't seem to even notice that the door is gone. But
Yeah.
and that's a small gripe in a pretty sweet movie.
It's not the movie Alive.
And they fight each other. And Wesley Snipes, first of all, he punches him in the balls, and Rain barely
he
reacts.
kicks him in the
And
balls.
then he
Because-
kicks him in the balls
numerous
two more
Five
times.
5 times.
And Rain just looks at him like,
Well, and
you
he's
think
got
my father didn't do
adamantium-laced
that?
balls.
Well, each progressive kick, he gets a little bit more reaction out of him. He's like, all right, I'm wearing his balls down.
There will be no pain.
And I was really, really rooting for a ball kick out the door.
Do you think he
But
got balls surgically removed or replaced?
Well, I think his father took him off.
that was
Oh,
his
shit.
that was the last plastic surgery he had.
Right.
So I think there's a thing where there was a thing that was going on in the early 90s where you could teach yourself, so people said, you could teach yourself to ignore pain. Like you will not be in pain because you don't think about it.
Yeah, I've seen Remo Williams.
That's it's very similar to that. That's this guy, and that's why he was like, no anesthesia, just fucking cut my face. And now he's like, go ahead and kick my balls.
I still say his father took him off.
Yeah.
Because they do allude to his father dying violently at his hands.
No, they don't allude to it. He says it. He says,
Yeah,
my
but they
father
don't-
died.
nobody-
They allude to
violently.
that his father was violent to him.
And they were also
Yeah.
the FBI or somebody was reading his file and he said, "Oh, what his father did to him and his sister, like, oh, it's the worst fucking possible thing." They
Yeah.
don't get in detail, which thankfully, Jesus Christ, we don't.
Thank
need that in
God
this
we
movie.
don't need to.
But
Yeah,
like,
we don't
that
need a
lets your
90-minute
imagination
movie.
run. Yeah.
Dude, this runtime is sweet.
But he doesn't kick him in the balls out the door. He kicks him in the face, which is even better, although the ball kick would have made it hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So he kicks him in the face. He falls out Hans Gruber style. We see his body
We
falling.
needed one thing though. I always told you to bet on black.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
a-
and that
Oh,
final line.
That would have been a good one.
yeah. What I say about betting on black? Drop him.
The final line was actually, "Oh no!" as he fucking flew.
And then
crapped out.
Wesley Snipes.
live the Queen.
The Joker is dead. Long live the Joker.
And Wesley Snipes calls the control tower, and they're like, "Oh, did you take Rain out? Damn, Skippy."
You ain't getting Brucey Willis to fucking drop that line.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, yes.
You bet your crack a jackass I did.
And I love the sheriff says something, and Wesley Snipes is like, "Hey, Biggs, is that you?" And he's like, "In the flesh." Like, that's a revolting thought.
You know what I'd do what would you do if you were me? Kill myself. Oh, God, it stings.
Tell me, this Briggs guy does not kind of remind you of John C.
Riley?
Riley.
John C.
Yeah,
Riley.
I can see that. I can
My
see
first
that,
thought
yeah.
was McGinley, and I was like, "That's not right."
I thought she was
No.
going John Cena.
No, John C. Riley.
There's nobody driving that car.
He's just a. I can't say prettier. Like he's just a '90s version of.
Sure. Yeah.
And this guy,
It's
I
the
feel like
hair.
was in something, but
And
I looked
this-
at his credits and didn't recognize anything.
Well, this movie
so.
has the great thing then that the great 90s movies have is character actor faces from bit
Yes.
parts. Like
Yeah.
dudes with really cool,
A
weird,
shit ton
ridiculous
of that
faces.
guys.
Yes, so many of that guys. And they might not even be any guys, but they look like that guy.
Yes.
And when all the passengers are getting off the plane and they see Wesley Snipes walking away, we get the Arsenio. "Ooh, ooh, ah, woo, 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 woo." They all still think they were saved by Arsenio Hall, and that's the story that is going in the newspapers.
Again, killed in the theater. Absolutely.
Because
killed in the
Wesley Snipes bails. He doesn't want to talk to the fucking media at all. So the people he's getting the story from are Tom Sizemore, who does the thing that Bruce
Loving it.
Greenwood said earlier in the movie, which is like, if this is successful, we say it's because we had an anti-terrorist guy on the plane. If it's not, we don't talk about it.
Yep.
So Tom Sizemore is like, hey,
Slide to Vecchio, please.
anti-terrorist squad. My idea, by the way. My idea, guys, just so you know.
My idea
But
is
every
Slido
other
Vecchio.
person, every other person getting interviewed is like, I'm pretty sure Arsenio Hall just saved me.
Right,
So
exactly.
Dude,
And
him and-
here's the thing: Slido Vecchio would not give a fuck. He's like, yeah, sure. We hired Arsenio Hall to fucking stop terrorists on our plane. Let's go, bitch. Let's go.
You never see it coming. Now Wesley Snipes and the what's the
Marty?
Marty the Babe?
Marty. They are taking a 5-mile walk into town now.
Yes, they are.
yeah, the
After
cop
this
even offers
ordeal.
them a ride, and they're like, "Nah, we're set."
Well,
We'll walk.
they've been sitting on those uncomfortable seats for so fucking long.
They also don't want to be in a car with him.
I was gonna say they don't want to be people of color in the back of this cop car
No.
in Louisiana.
Also, none
see
of,
other
they
shit
weren't
in
in first
Louisiana.
class, so you're right. They are uncomfortable seats.
There you go.
So,
I still 5 fucking miles. Can I like stretch a little bit?
that
And
little,
just get like rent me a
shitbird
car?
in Dutch walked 50 supposedly.
Oh yeah, right.
Also, you saw how fucking jack Wesley Snipes was. He can do
He
that
gave
shit in
her a
his sleep.
piggyback.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
picked her up at some point and just like running, but he wasn't awake.
I'm gonna walk you into our house when we're married from the venue.
Go to the church to the fucking hotel in Fiji.
And the movie ends with more Skinamax fucking saxophone.
Focused
and,
on the
and
fair, so-
fireworks. The end. There is a thing I've been trying to do recently, but sometimes I forget, like last episode, where it got a couple of Letterboxd reviews that made me laugh. So we have a 1-star review from Aaron the Robot.
Fuck you,
Fuck
Aaron.
you, Aaron.
Fuck this robot.
That says,
You're the worst robot. There's RoboCop. There's Terminator. There's
There's
fucking
you.
what's it? Short Circuit, and then you.
Ooh, Johnny 5.
Yeah, that's
I was
that guy.
gonna even put the fucking Futurama robot on there.
Bender?
Bender?
Yeah.
Bender's way above
Bender's
all
up.
of
Yeah,
those.
exactly.
Yeah, he's
Bender's
top
better
row
than
bit.
Terminator.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's never
yeah.
melted.
There's
I thought we were
Wally,
just naming-
and then there's this guy.
But he says, or she says, slap bass montage of plane parts, bongo drum knife fight. Is this film the thing that started the and then everybody cheered at the end? Cheesier than an episode of Cheers,
Fuck you, Aaron.
which I
Ooh.
included
Oh, I'm definitely fuck this person.
for you. Another 1-star from
You'd be so lucky to be as good as Cheers, as cheesy as Cheers.
but this person, it's their problem because this is their username. I included this one from Chris Hanna. 1 star. The star is for King Wesley. Liz
Yeah.
Hurley is a flight attendant / terrorist. That's the review.
That's it? Oh, the director, rightfully so, or whoever's in charge of the shots, rightfully so, thought Elizabeth Hurley was beautiful because she gets put in a cop car at the very end, and we get a very long pause on just her face.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You see the
And-
swollen lip, and then she turns her head, and you're like, okay, good.
Her
I mean, like,
her
it's,
face
it's,
is
we,
fucked
we're
up.
watching
you know
her
what?
drive away, like, no, please don't leave this movie. Come back. Oh,
Her face is all fucked up, and I'm like, absolutely, still would.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Be so lucky.
Now
And I
we've
wouldn't
got
even
5
turn her around.
stars.
Now let's get to the cheddar here.
We got 5 stars from Paul Waller. So I'm assuming he's like Paul Wall, but better.
Paul Wall's taken. So
He's
Prime Snipes, Prime that dude from Warlock, Prime everybody else. A movie that makes 0 sense, and it's all the better for it.
Who's the dude from Warlock?
I'm pretty sure that's Bruce Payne.
the only thing that doesn't make sense is putting a plane jacking terrorist specialist on a plane. Other than that, fucking spotless.
And then one more 5-star, and I loved this one from Scott Schreffler. We're only 5 minutes into this movie, and I'm already going to pledge my love and allegiance to it.
Yeah.
There's the man. There's
I gotta,
the man.
I gotta add
All right,
one. I
Scott,
have to.
come on
I
our
gotta
show.
add one into my own. I have to snipe you.
Okay.
Hey. No, the Rotten Tomato score is 24%, which is fucking ridiculous.
Fuck
And-
Rotten Tomatoes though.
Right, and they have like a consensus like review or whatever, and it's one sentence says Wesley Snipes tries to pilot passenger 57 away from turbulence, but even he can't help this implausible couch class action bomber from nosediving. Fuck you.
Yeah, this
Whoever that was.
implausible movie. It's not plausible the way Die Hard and Under
Right,
Siege
right.
and
I can't wait till he does a realistic movie like Blade.
Vampires exist.
Not with him around.
all right. So we're gonna go around the horn for
Let's start with the
recommendations
guest.
here. Guest class.
Oh, I think we
alcoholic.
know where he's going.
fucking 5-star movie. Love this movie. Love Wesley Snipes. Again, first movie I remember seeing in the theater. I don't know if it is, but that's what I remember. And it holds up to this day. I kind of damning with faint praise, but it's kind of weird to see a 90s action movie, macho action movie with no, like, I don't know, gay panic, any like slurs.
Right?
Any
Especially
of that
from the
weird
90s.
shit.
Yeah,
Right?
Nobody
Yeah.
throws a single F-bomb out in
Not
this
a
whole
single
thing.
one.
Yeah.
And the race shit is like there's the racial elements are the joke is on the old racist lady.
Yeah.
Bruce Payne
Yeah.
again does the little thing like, oh, you're getting taking advantage of, brother, but way less racist than I remember. The movie itself is not racist.
Correct.
It's actually like race forward. I dug this movie since I was a little baby, and it still holds up to this day. We need a killer 4K release.
Yes.
We don't have that. It's on Blu-ray. You can get it on Blu-ray. We need a 4K giant package that costs $100 with like 3 extra discs.
Who would do that one? You hear us, Kino Lorber.
Kino Lorber would do that
They
shit.
would do
Yeah,
it, yeah.
Kino Lorber.
Maybe
I
Arrow.
know, I know you're listening, Kino Lorber.
I will recommend it, but much lighter than that. I
Boo.
like this movie. I don't love it.
Boo.
I think it's not okay. Let me finish before you get booze. I think it's not a great movie.
I have
that
booze
is-
right here.
that- I think it's not a great movie that has Wesley Snipes elevating it to way above.
Okay.
So I think if you add any of these people that you talked about earlier, I'm probably not. This is not movies on our not on our radar. You know, it's a skip. But with Wesley Snipes in pretty good sniping, I'm gonna give it. We're going on a 5-star scale.
Sure.
I'll give it a 3, and I will watch it again, but not rushing.
When you watch it again, it's going to be a 4. Promise you.
So I'm along. Don't hate me. I am along the lines of Jack. I do really enjoy this movie.
I think we're just holding him to higher standards.
Exactly.
His
Which is
movies
fair,
to higher
which is
fair.
standards.
But
I will
this is
say
one
it-
of his first action movies, by the way. This
This
is what
is how-
solidified him as an action star.
This is how I'll put it. Okay, listen. This is the best worst movie he's ever done.
Okay.
Like I think,
Okay.
and seriously, and that means it's pretty still fantastic. I will give it a 4 though.
Give it
mean,
a
he-
4.
yeah.
It deserves a 4.
I mean,
does.
he
From you.
New
Well-
Jack City does exist. Like, let's be real. Yeah, to be fair. Yeah.
I never saw it. Doesn't exist.
I'm pretty sure I gave it a 4 on Letterboxd. Go look me up. We'll see for sure. But I'm pretty sure I gave it a 4. I
did.
recommend it.
How do we look you up?
I don't remember. Durka 520 probably.
Probably.
Should probably figure that out
I
soon.
think it's Durka 520. I don't know. I've had 5 beers.
6.
No, this is my 5th. But I gave it 4 stars. I'm going to recommend it. I had a great time. I'd never seen this.
I did say recommend,
somehow.
right?
Yeah,
Oh wait,
I think
actually,
so.
I should have asked. Who saw this before you saw it for the show? Terry, have you seen it?
I saw
I'd
this in
seen
the
it-
90s.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'd
okay,
seen it in the
okay, okay.
90s. So
I had never seen it, but I love Wesley Snipes.
It was
and
new again.
So there was no reason I hadn't seen it other than like I just hadn't seen it.
Shit
You
falls
know
off the
what I mean?
radar. It's cool.
I don't TBS or TNT, so I hadn't seen it. I don't.
This is big on basic cable back in the day.
I grew up with like I don't know whatever was on Comedy Central, so I saw Bordello of Blood 100 times, and I hate that movie. Yeah. Anyway, I recommend it. I think it was a lot of fun. I think Wesley Snipes is good. There are problems. There are things that aren't explained. There's whatever, but the runtime is great.
Runtime's
Wesley Snipes
easy.
is great. Bruce Payne is menacing mostly, other than
The
a couple of
stunts are
scenes where he
amazing.
kind of drops. The stunts are amazing. I had a good time, so
Yes.
I'm gonna recommend it.
Fuck yeah.
I could even watch this by myself. I don't need the company of other people.
I did.
Well, and that's a big qualifier on our show, Classy, is Jack usually is like, yeah, I recommend this movie if you have friends and beer.
Okay.
So
And
with this
isn't-
one,
this
it
isn't
wasn't.
one of those. I don't need to be
Yeah.
drunk for this. I don't need to watch it with other people.
it's better if you do, but if you're drunk.
Sure.
But
It's
you
always
also-
better if
you
you're
could,
drunk.
You could watch this at 9 a.m. with a cup of coffee and still have a great time.
Yes.
So that's it for this episode. But Classy Alcoholic,
Where
do you
can
have
we-
anything
where
to
can we
plug?
find you?
Yeah, so I have a blog called The Classy Alcoholic. You can find it at theclassyalcoholic.net because I can't afford the .com. I write about funny stories full of jokes about dicks and butts, about booze, food, writing about Arizona businesses. I write just kind of when I feel inspired. I put a story up there a few weeks ago called Sleazy Writer. I write short stories that are based in Arizona and just brings in elements from different bars and breweries that I've gone to. But the best place to find me is on Instagram. because, like I said, I write intermittently. So Instagram is where I promote my blog, is where I just post dumb shit that I'm doing. I make dumb jokes about eating ass. I talk with people that
kinda
follow
time.
me. There you go. Yeah, exactly. People that people chat with me, leave comments, DM. It's cool. So
Oh, I'll
whatever
get
you
in
do.
those DMs.
Yeah.
And there is, or there will be by the time this comes out, right, a story to tie into this, right?
No, that's what I was saying. A story called Sleazy Rider that has nothing to do with this movie.
Oh, okay.
And this now,
But it
I was
ties
dr-
into your experience with us.
no.
Not all about you, Derek.
Now it's behind the scenes. Like, we're recording this way before it airs.
It's
so I'm
fine.
like-
It's fine.
Well,
They all know.
there's-
They know that
they've
we're
all-
recording way in advance.
they've all
yeah,
peeked
all
at
right,
our
all right, fair
sausage.
enough. So yeah, so
They've all peeked at our sausage.
You know, like once you see the sausage get made,
I know
all you
what
want to
you
do
meant.
is eat sausage.
That's not what
Exactly,
you said.
hey, Wesley Snipes, do you have sausage in your pants? Let me check you with that fucking metal
Please,
detector.
can I?
The Classy
Sorry.
Alcoholic on Instagram is the best place to follow me. I'm not on Twitter anymore. I got permanently banned because I went on there drunk and kept telling Elon Musk to kill himself. Fuck that guy. So I'm not on Twitter anymore.
I mean,
Well,
that will
Twitter
happen.
Yeah, but God, I hope so. But yeah, Instagram and then my blog, theclassyalcoholic.net.
Well, we have to thank Evasion for providing our opening and closing music. Don't forget to check out badmoviesworstpeople.com. You can get links to our merchandise. You can get links to our YouTube page where we cover new movies. That's going to be it for this week. I have been Derek.
I'm still Whitney.
I'm Jack.
I'm the Classy Alcoholic.
And don't forget, always bet on black.
Fuck yeah.
Can I get? Excuse me. Somebody has a dog on this plane.
Only service animals on this plane, please.
They're supposed to be checked.
She is my seizure dog.
All right, you two. That's enough of that.
This whole thing has gone to the dogs. And the service in this airline's is rough.
If you've thought about recording a podcast before, but like myself, realized you need a lot of different tools and services, well, those days are over. With Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform, you can create your podcast all in one place and easily distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. You can record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests and feel a sense of zen knowing that Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. Go to Zencaster.com/pricing and use my code WORSTPeople. That's WORSEPEOPLE, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencaster paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experience I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story.